and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We are the YborKnuckleHeads. My name is Adam.
This is Landon.
And we are without Dr. Sanman this week. He's dealing with family circumstances. He cannot be here, but today we have a very special guest all the way from Munich, Germany, Tim Schreffl.
Oh,
I don't know how I forgot that again. We're off to a great start. So, why don't you tell us a little about yourself, Tim?
Yeah, first of all, holy shit, this is like so cool.
It's cool. Right on. We appreciate that.
Yes, I'm Tim. What's up, guys? I'm from Munich, Germany. And now I'm here in Tampa because I went to college in the US. And now I'm planning to move back here to the US, and that's why I'm here.
Right on, man.
Good shit.
So I've heard you've been all around the world. You've done a whole bunch of fun stuff. Why don't you tell us some stories about going all around the world and where you've been? Where's the most interesting place you've ever visited in the world?
It's a very, very tough question. I would say there are different ones. My favorite place in the whole world is Miami.
Yeah.
Miami?
I love Miami.
In the whole world?
In the whole world. Like, every year I would have to be there. That's the only place I have to be all the time.
Cool.
So, but I really, really like Egypt. Egypt is beautiful. But my most favorite country is Italy. Italy is amazing.
Northern Italy? What part?
I think the whole country of Italy, because every single city you go to, no matter big, small, it's so beautiful.
How are the people?
People, I have some Italian friends actually from college in the US. He was on my soccer team. Super, super cool guy, but whenever he hears that, we were fighting a lot of times because it's just like a different kind of personality, but we still
disagree on a lot of different things?
Exactly, we disagreed on a lot of things, but because we were friends and we knew it's the personality, it didn't matter. We were just really good friends.
That's really important to be able to do. That's something not a lot of people have the foresight actually to be able to convey to people.
Yeah, so that was actually pretty interesting for me to see as well because we were pissed off each other like.
What made it so that you guys were pissed off at each other?
I don't know. We played soccer together in college, and we were the same position. We played right next to each other, and I don't know. So we were literally right next to each other 24/7.
Always butting heads.
Okay.
Yeah, we lived in the same apartment. We had soccer every day at 6 a.m. to 8 a.m.
And you just around each other all the
with
time.
each other. Yeah, in the hotel room with each other, and I don't know. So you love each other, but at some point, it's like in a relationship. You need your space.
Well, it is a relationship. It is a form of relationship. It is. Any friendship is just is a smaller form of relationship.
You might not get all the same benefits, but
no, because in any way in a friendship, you still are relating to the other person,
of course,
and you still have relation there.
You have expectations,
for sure.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people are your friend and they're acting in a manner that you find to be either disrespectful to you, and they don't understand that sort of thing, then it gets really complicated. I have had that happen a few times in my life.
No, I completely agree. And like, the funny thing is, I don't know a lot of people if they're interested in soccer here or not, but he literally is the stereotypical, and Thomas, if you hear that,
well, I'm sure
sorry, but we know.
Sure.
He is literally a typical like Italian like soccer player. Like he like dives all the time. Like whenever there's no foul, he literally.
That's not all soccer. You're telling me that's not all soccer players.
What are you talking about?
I don't watch soccer like that. I'm talking shit. But no, that was always the one thing that always turned me off from soccer is when I'd see people and it's like, how are you gonna get up and then kick the penalty? How are you gonna kick the penalty shot after you were just like holding your legs, screaming and
no. But because you don't watch it, you see like the highlights online on Facebook, and what is on Facebook only like the craziest things. So not everybody is like that.
I'll put it this way: I enjoy watching it. I just don't follow it, and in general, I don't really follow sports like that. But
me either.
I loved when I was in Germany. We were in. We've been a couple times, but this time we were in Berlin, West Berlin, and we were watching. It wasn't the World Cup. But we were there for it was the World Cup, but it wasn't Germany playing this time.
Oh, it was a different countries playing for the World Cup.
Yeah, It was an insane night
really?
at the pubs. It was so much fun.
I was at 2 World Cup games in 2006 in Germany, the semifinals once with Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal versus France, and Zinedine Zidane. What a crazy experience.
I actually saw that too, because I told you
that was in
Germany
Munich,
several times.
That was in Munich.
I didn't see him in person. I saw him on TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what
I was in the stadium.
I saw him, and it was just cool to see people care so much about something. You know what I mean? It's like it's such a big cultural thing.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Yeah, but yeah, he is. I don't know how we got to this, but he is literally the Italian guy. There's no contact with anybody, and he just falls.
He's dropping like a rag doll.
Thomas, you're such a diver, but he knew how to do it. He always got the fouls.
Hey, if he gets it. He knows how to play it.
Thomas, well done.
The only experience I had with soccer was from 2nd grade, and I dove once, and I fucking landed on my ribs on a rock. And
why was there a rock on the soccer field?
That's what my question fucking was. For the teachers, like, what the fuck are we doing here? That was when I lived in Lansing, Michigan, but that was about the end of that.
I blame Michigan.
Yeah, maybe, probably.
I blame the whole state.
I blame Buckley. That's like our Sefner.
Oh God. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know about Sefner. You've been in Tampa for a little bit, but Sefner is our cousin to the
Alabama.
East, yeah. They're to the east, and it's basically all the country folk that live around Tampa.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it's there's a lot of stereotypes.
All of the high-functioning heroin addicts.
There is a big drug problem in the U.S. right now, and it's been this way since like the mid 2000s. I mean, we've always had like
it's
different
been this way
periods.
Since the fucking 80s.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it got better for a little bit, from like mid 90s to like early 2000s. It actually did get better for like certain sectors. You know what I'm saying? And then.
Yeah, I mean, like, where I was in college, I was actually in college in Missouri. It was like, I loved the U.S., but Missouri was a horrible experience for me.
Why was that?
I don't know. Because I just like the cities and stuff like that. So
were the people like rude to you?
No, nobody was rude to me or whatever. But I just like the area. Like Missouri is just not my thing. I like.
Missouri's nobody's thing. Believe me. Sorry, Missouri.
Now being
nobody's thing.
Being a foreigner. Have you ever had to deal with anybody like ignorant that is just like weird with you because you're a foreigner and just doesn't like you?
In Florida, no. In Missouri, yeah. In Missouri, I feel like more. But in Florida, no. Like that's why I love this place so much. Not only the weather, it's basically the people as well. Like I like talk to anybody and like I get along with anybody no matter what age.
Right.
That's super
like
nice.
The people at
That's
least
really cool.
I meet. Yeah, like I can form a relationship with anybody I really meet here, and I've never had that anywhere.
And that's
else.
the way the world should be.
One thing I just like about Tampa, it's like we're a city, but we're not that urbanites in the same way like LA or New York or something, where people don't want to, or Paris even, London, any places where people don't want to give you the time of day. Like people are still very friendly.
Yeah,
like, people say Floridians are crazy, and we are crazy. But we're a good kind of crazy.
Tampa
I think
is
we're a fun kind of crazy. Oh, Tampa's a gem
of Florida.
It's shining right now, literally.
Yeah.
These last couple of years, I've seen it happen because I've lived here my whole life. I'm like, I've always known Tampa was a fantastic city, like the best city.
LA Part 2.
I just love
East
living
Coast
here.
Edition.
It's just a wonderful place.
Yeah, no, it is.
Everyone is seeing it now, and it's really gratifying to see that for your city, which people would just miss Tampa, and a lot of people just miss Florida, but I think that's mostly jokes when people talk shit about Florida. And if they don't like Florida, I don't really care.
All of those.
I don't know.
I don't care if people don't like Florida. It's like we're full, so it's okay. If you don't like Florida, you don't have to.
Yeah,
come to
no,
Florida.
I agree. I think it's the best. I've been to like most of the states in the U.S. as well, and Florida is, I think, the best state. That's how it is.
Florida's the one. There's some really cool ones. Georgia's
and I say it as an outsider.
I think that I don't.
Florida has it all.
I don't have a best state, but Florida's not my favorite state. Michigan's my favorite state. I don't think it's because I'm from there either. But I notice a difference in people when I come down here to when I'm up in Michigan.
Of course.
People are much more polite in Michigan.
Polite?
Very much more so. Very much more so. I've
don't know.
seen it.
Interesting.
People will smile at you more. This might just be me being jaded, but I don't think it is. I noticed that if I'm walking down the street and I meet, I just
smile.
Just
you meet eye
happen
contact
to
with someone, so you just smile at him. Like,
enter the tragedy of locking eyes with a stranger. I do that. It's like one of my natural responses.
Yeah, I get it.
And down here, people just
I'm the same way. No, hold on. Like, I will agree with you on that. Like, people don't say hi on the street like that unless you say hi. I feel like the little glances, sometimes people get sketched out, which is weird because I do the same thing.
Right.
It's just how I am because it's like, I acknowledge that you're there.
I think that's just something from my childhood that was ingrained in my head to do to people for like just like
acknowledge their
presence.
You don't have to say hi, just like acknowledge that they're there. Like make eye contact, be like, you know, like not to everybody. Like I'm not going around being like, hey, like to everyone on the street. That's disgusting.
Not out of nowhere. But if I like make eye contact with you, if I end up making eye contact with you,
so, on the unfortunate,
I might nod my head. And like, but people up north tend to deal with that a little better, I think. And then and also I think that might because people up north don't have to deal with a lot of the shit.
You deal with a lot of hardworking people up north.
With down here, people down here got to deal with a little bit more bullshit because it's a little freer down here. People aren't. And now this is gonna get weird. It's a little more strict up north. And how you behave and the things you do, like this walking across the street in Ybor.
Yeah,
does not work. Fly. People are honking at you. Get out of the fucking road, you asshole! Fucking like they're like, that does not fly.
I like that. I like that.
If you go up north, you try to cross the road anywhere, like you cross the road in Ybor. People are gonna fucking yell out their window at you and honk at you.
Think that's how, like, dude, like that's how in Europe. I know, like France and shit like that. They'll fucking run you over. Like they don't. Italy, they'll fucking run you over. They don't give a shit.
You have a funny story about traffic. Holy shit. So I was in Istanbul before I was in before I came to Florida this time. I was in Istanbul for 2 weeks because it was the only way for me to get into the country. And the Istanbul traffic is fucking crazy. It's like
just locked
insane.
All the time.
It's literally everybody goes left, right, like traffic lights, like fuck that, like crazy. And
Colombia was like that too.
Really?
It was insane. There was 3 lanes for the street, but people made it into 5 lanes, including bicycles going in between. Motorcycles going in between.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, people moved. They were the best drivers I've ever seen because they could park their car in a space as big as their car. They found a way to parallel park it perfectly every time with no space. Like every single person was a good driver. I saw no accidents the entire time I was there.
That's the thing about driving in the snow.
You have to be a good driver.
Istanbul is not driving in the snow.
What?
In Istanbul, there is no snow.
No, I was still thinking about.
Oh, Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, Michigan.
My bad. Yeah. But I mean, I want you to continue your story. But to add to that, that's why I feel like people up north are way better drivers because they had to fucking drive in snow for 6 months out of the year.
I mean, but the best drivers in the world, just on the side, are Germans. We are the best drivers in the world. Yeah, that's how it is. Yep.
Yeah. Think so?
What do you think? It is. I've heard this that BMW engines are being made in China now.
You ask me questions. I didn't even know.
I know. I just heard that, and I was just like, that makes me sad because I was always like, that was like a pride of Bavaria. Is like the BMW has a Bavarian flag, the colors on it. You know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, they produce their stuff all over the world already. Because they already produce in, I think, North Carolina. They like produce their cars already.
They have a plant over there. Okay.
Yeah, so they're already worldwide. But yeah, we're the best drivers in the world.
Right on.
That's tight. That's a cool sport.
Well, you guys got the Autobahn.
Yeah, we have the Autobahn. Yeah, that's how it is.
Oh man, we have Texas.
Aunt Zilka fucking
there's no speed limit in Texas.
I was supposed to grow up knowing German, but my Aunt Zilka fucking moved back to Germany. But fucking, she used to call my mom like, "Yeah, I'm doing 120 on the fucking Autobahn."
I mean that's slow. I mean 120, that's slow.
Well, miles per hour, right?
Yeah.
120 is still pretty damn fast. I mean, it's nothing compared to 200 or 220, you know. But like
the fastest I've probably went in my life was, I would say, 240 to 50 kilometers.
Okay.
I think so. That's
probably 150,
160
or something.
I don't know. I think it's 166.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean,
what car?
If you just figure that out in your head, you're a lot better at that conversion.
There was a Golf GTI.
Okay.
Golf GTI.
156, yeah.
156.
I like Audis.
My Audis are my favorite.
They're beautiful. Like you were actually, it was funny. He was mentioning Audis earlier today.
I love Audi, bro.
They look beautiful. They're gorgeous.
They're fucking pretty.
Yeah.
I want to fucking.
There's different cars for different moods. Like for me, when I want something flashy and just fucking crazy, I want a Corvette because one, it's affordable. Nah, dude, Corvettes. First of all, Corvettes are beautiful.
Corvettes are ugly.
Nah, I disagree 100%. Especially that original like 60s.
Every 10-year-old boy wants a Corvette.
So what, man? Doesn't everyone have a little bit of 10-year-old boy in them?
Right.
I think
as long as you're not the other way around, it's okay. You know?
Oh my goodness.
with Corvettes is the thing. Either you love him or you hate him.
That is
also,
true. I think there's an American. There's a very American appeal about
Lamborghini
him.
as well.
That's what
I
it
love
is.
Lamborghini.
I hate Lamborghini.
I love Lamborghini
Fuck
too.
you.
To me, a Lamborghini is just like, well, it makes. This is my thing. I would never want to own
a Lamborghini.
For me, if you live in the U.S., you have to get all the parts imported from Italy, and that shit takes weeks and weeks, and everything is like, if you have the money, you have the money, but do you have the time is the question. If things break down, that's my thing. Whereas Corvettes were one of the most made cars in the U.S., and that's why you can still get like a 1975 Corvette for
okay,
like
so you like it
$10,000.
for like logistical reasons. And
yes.
Shit. Okay.
Oh,
well, I like it because it's pretty.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about too. I don't care if it takes a week longer to be delivered.
It's
not a week for us.
Lamborghini.
It's like 6 weeks.
Or 6
I don't
weeks.
6 weeks is a long time.
Yo, but
Although that's not your
if-
primary vehicle usually.
What if you just like long, tedious projects?
Yeah.
That's just frustrating.
It makes it
No.
more
It's one thing if you're working on it like every time, but just waiting 6 weeks and you get something and you wait 6 weeks, that's terrible.
Oh,
That takes-
right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I guess.
if you order, hold on though. If you order it all, you can
All
order
the
multiple
way.
orders and they'll come in. So I guess that's not a good point.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
nice. Yeah, but coming back to Turkey, actually, so I don't forget about that.
Yeah, that's right.
But they were like so fucking patient. Like literally, when there was like a car stopping in like a one-way street, like you can't like pass it, and they unload for the supermarket, for the grocery store. They like stand there for like fucking 20-30 minutes, and the people behind them like super chill, don't tell them to move, no honking, because they're used to it. Like, it's insane.
So,
and they couldn't turn around, nothing. They had to stand there behind them until the fucking car
That's
left.
wild. I would go absolutely insane.
No, me too. I could not do that.
I know. I would freak out. I have to walk out. I was like, is there a bar? I can just get beer, just watch my car and wait till this is done.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that's insane. I don't have that patience. That's cool that they do, but I mean, what else can you do? Istanbul is like one of the oldest cities in the world.
It is.
You know, so it's like you can't extend the roads. It's Istanbul. It was made for horses and people. Like most they didn't even really, for the most part, probably when they built it, use carriages like that. It was just people for the most part. So they're tiny ass roads.
Yeah. I mean, if you would
in the old cities.
Yeah, if you like change that, you would have to like redo the whole city.
You'd have to get rid of some of those buildings that have been there for some millennia.
Forever.
Yeah, it's insane.
Man, that would be criminal.
Did you see the Hagia Sophia?
Yeah.
How was that's one thing I've always wanted to see in person. I feel like that would be breathtaking.
So I liked it, but that was like the less coolest city, the thing to do, because actually right next to the Hagia Sophia there is a new one. It's called the Blue Mosque. They're right next to each other. The Blue Mosque is 1,000 times nicer.
Is it just because of how it looks, or what there is to do, or how you tour it?
What it looks. Of course, there's the tradition behind Hagia Sophia, but there are so many more nicer mosques.
Okay, fair enough.
So many more, and there's like a much bigger one. So the Hagia Sophia is not even the biggest one, and the
Blue Mosque. Wow.
Yeah, no, it is pretty cool. But the coolest thing in Istanbul, I thought, was there was like this one street with all these umbrellas, like.
I apologize. I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. As I mistook the Hagia Sophia. Yes.
But but I think you talked about the Hagia Sophia because
is that
the
it
Hagia
right there?
Sophia,
That is the Hagia Sophia.
No, that's the Blue Mosque. But the Hagia Sophia is the most popular mosque in the world. It's like
this is the one I was talking about because I love the architecture. I love the domes.
Oh really? Yeah.
How it like actually supports that roof, and I think they built it in like the year 800 or something like that. Like it's like look at all the little mini domes and stuff to make that roof back then with like no supporting because there isn't very many supporting pillars inside, right? It stands
I
up
saw
for the
something
most
like
part.
that.
I went only into the Hagia
Tripping
Sophia.
balls one time.
The mosque, you just saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
But either way, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I love how all this ancient architecture and psychedelic visions have a lot in common.
They do.
Oh my goodness!
Show me. I want to see one more time.
Oh, he didn't. It was just the same picture.
Oh
He was just saying
yeah,
in
that's
general.
what I'm saying. Is like certain things that'll come to you while meditating on psychedelics and shit like that sort of thing. I've known that's really similar. my goodness.
Well, yeah, it's all like symmetrical, like shapes, patterns.
Right, but that
sort of
tells you
stuff.
something about the human consciousness and how it has diminished. I believe that we used to be a little more connected to what the fuck is going on in the universe. I feel like certain things like mosques and certain things like these big, gigantic cathedrals that you see, you know what I mean? I feel like that's something that like there's a channel through us, you know what I mean, to make almost kind of a divine geometry for ourselves to be able to enjoy.
You should see the
You know
oh my
what I
god,
mean?
in Barcelona.
Yeah. The one thing.
You
I
know
know.
what I'm talking about.
I've been there.
What's it called?
Yeah, I don't know. But
Like-
the thing.
Hold on.
It's a big-ass
There's this
thing. It's
insane.
beautiful.
There's
Yeah.
this church they've been working on for
Yeah.
like 200 years. Like they've just been constantly building it, and
Right.
it's like super detailed in every way. Like, how am I forgetting this?
I don't know.
Like it's.
I actually with that
hold
one.
on,
I
I'm
never
looking-
can
I'm looking it
remember
up
the
right
name.
now.
Yeah,
Tim's
look
played
it
in
up because
Barcelona
the
church and all
interiors
t-
of a lot of these things, I'm somewhat of a psychonaut, and I've taken, psilocybin mushrooms and lysergic acid a whole bunch
Sagrada
of times.
Familia.
And those sorts of things come to you. You know what I mean? Those sorts of things. And I believe that certain psychedelic substances can be like, you can get in tune.
This dude
with the
definitely
universe.
was on something. Look at that. It's not even completed yet.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not even completed. It's one of the most beautiful structures. It's absolutely gorgeous.
That's straight out of a DMT trip.
Yeah, I mean, he might have done peyote.
That's straight out of a
hold
DMT
on. Let's
trip.
think. Probably
Peyote
not
is-
peyote. Nah,
Damn,
Maybe ayahuasca.
That's beautiful.
Ayahuasca.
it's insane.
That's definitely feasible that they were doing some sort of thing. A lot of people think the burning bush from the Bible was the acacia bush.
The what?
The acacia
Acacia
bush.
again?
What is
It's
that?
a bush that's really rich in the compound dimethyltryptamine.
Okay. Do you know about
What?
DMT?
Yeah, I've heard of
Okay,
it.
yeah.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so the burning bush that Moses saw, right? Moses saw the burning bush.
Yeah.
So
I
apparently
think.
that very
Yeah,
well
it was Moses.
could have been either cannabis, is what some people think it was, and then
That makes sense. to
it
me.
does.
That makes
It
the
does
most
make
to
sense,
me.
but you also smoke DMT.
I know, but do you think people were really smoking DMT back in the day, extracting it from the bush and smoking DMT?
I mean, some point
well,
it had to start.
Yeah, well, how
wait,
the
hold
fuck
on.
do these tribesmen in the middle of
I mean, these
nowhere?
were the
didn't
smartest
extract it.
people
They
in the
mixed it with
world.
they
Right.
mixed it with an MAOI.
Right.
They didn't extract it, but they mixed it with
So
something
what if
else
there's
that-
some ancient way that we don't know about?
That's
I agree,
okay.
I
It's
agree,
possible, but I'll just put. There's no
Totally
evidence in terms of
possible.
you don't see little bamboo straws. To
Right,
do,
but the way that you
lot-
synthesize DMT from
snorted
tree
it.
roots is a very natural process. They definitely could have done so. They absolutely could have done so.
They could have.
Completely,
But I wonder if
100%. You don't need any technology to make this shit.
But no, the way that tribesmen shit did DMT, I saw this show on Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia,
Yeah.
which you talked about, was they strung up the frog,
Yeah.
and they scraped it. They would poke it.
Oh, that's
and it
one
would
way.
It would secrete a jelly. They
That's-
would take the jelly, they would dry it out. They would have flakes, and that they would smoke.
What?
There's
And-
also
What?
a way.
There are
Yeah,
certain-
that's
Bufo
not.
Alvaria.
You're not supposed to do it that way.
No, I mean, I'm sure it's not the
Even
safe way.
Hamilton says that.
I know, but that's the
Like-
traditional way. That's the tradition.
No,
of
the
tribe.
traditional way would be ayahuasca.
And then they burned them and put
Oh,
frog venom in
holy!
it.
I know it now. I
tr-
know. I saw actually a video on that. I think I saw a video. On
Was
that.
Maybe
it
in
some-
that specific tribe, it might be the tradition. But the
Okay.
traditional way to consume DMT in the world, I think, is ayahuasca, which is when you take the roots of a tree that
Yeah,
Mix
has
it with something that
and
has
you mix it
MAOIs.
with an MOI, and then it fucking goes in your,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
I've never done that.
We have a TV show
I'm
in
afraid to do
Germany.
that.
We have a TV show in Germany where two dudes or one guy tried it out. That was a dare he had to do. I think, if I'm not mistaken, but I think that's how it was.
Was he a really weird looking dude with long hair and really tall, lanky?
He was very tall, super skinny, but
Did he kinda
short
talk
and
like
short.
this?
Yeah, but short
He
and
saw
blonde
Hamilton's
hair.
Pharmacopoeia. He had it
Did he have glasses?
No.
okay.
Never mind.
All right, yeah, it's probably not him. Okay, the guy you described sounds hold on. Can you show
Oh,
him?
hold
Hold on, just show him Hamilton. I feel like-
Spectacles.
I think there's a 60% chance it's the same guy. It's a pretty good chance.
He's German though.
Hell no, Hamilton's
No,
American.
it's not.
Okay,
so no, it's not the same
because
guy
his name
then.
was Yoko. Okay, but I'm not sure if he did it, but I think he did it.
Isn't that?
Yeah. But yeah.
Was it on Vice?
On what?
This medium or platform called Vice.
I've never heard of it.
Try to
Vice used to be good back in the day.
It's still really good.
It's terrible.
It's really good.
It's too political. It used to be apolitical. Now it's fucking political.
Depending on who you watch.
Huh?
Depending on who you watch.
Okay, so basically it was an independent platform with independent journalists who would go around the globe, and sometimes they'd report on conflicts that weren't being covered in like the mainstream media, and they'd like station themselves with Kurdish troops getting fucked over by Turkey or something like that. You know, like they do shit like that, or they'd do something where Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia was a segment, like its own like show on Vice, where
now it's its own show.
It's its own, yeah, exactly. It used to be on YouTube, but just YouTube videos, but now it's its own show. And he goes around the world and does indigenous drugs. Like he's like whatever they do to get high, he does that.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
That's what
I've
I'm saying. He goes everywhere. Does everything.
Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah.
Yep.
He's the shit.
He's interesting.
Oh, like I was down south. I was down south this weekend, and we were like kayaking and stuff. And I had like an insect spray like that protects me from my body, like for kayaking. But at night I forgot about it, and holy shit.
Did you get like a reaction?
Yeah, I have like fucking 100, 200 mosquito bites.
Oh yeah, no, that's
like today I was waking up and I was itching my leg because holy shit.
The absolute worst. Like, as I said, like there's certain things in Florida. It's like you can't live here without AC. Period.
No, you can't.
This is an unlivable, terrible, awful. This is what
Irma.
hell I think would honestly feel like without AC is a swamp. Like not right here, but the actual swamps. What a lot of the state is like.
Yeah.
That's hell. That's way worse. Than
the deal is I remember Hurricane Irma.
What about Irma?
I had no power, and so
we had a hurricane a
fucking
couple years ago.
Oh really?
We have hurricanes all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Season,
But
this one, well, it hit here. Yeah,
it hit Fort Lauderdale and Miami first, and went up through the state, so it lost power.
By the time it got here,
us, but it was still a hurricane.
It knocked our fucking power out for 7 days.
Not mine.
I lived over in Seminole Heights. And we had nothing. So like right before we went all to the stores. I swear it looked like the apocalypse, bro. There was nothing on any shelves.
Oh, that's true. For the week leading up to Irma, like 2 weeks leading up to Irma, they were like very serious about this is a state of emergency. Like get all your water. So like water was something that people were like bought bottles and bottles and bottles in case like yeah. Which honestly the water thing was kind of dumb. Like it makes sense to have several cases, but you should always just kind of have that as an emergency. You know
so they thought this one was like hitting hard.
We didn't like. I'll put it this way. Well, real Floridians like me, I didn't. I was like, this is gonna be fine. Knew. I was not like. I just knew. Like it's a gut feeling with me. Like I know when a hurricane's actually gonna be bad. And that sounds arrogant to say, but I've lived here. I just know. Usually tropical storms end up worse.
It tore the keys to shreds.
It did tear the keys to shreds. But like we were in Tampa, so it's weird to think about what are we doing for Tampa. So
usually Tampa's fine.
Tampa's done well. Like the last big scare we had was Hurricane Charlie in like 2004 because that thing was curving and it was curving about to like go right into the bay and just flood us, and we evacuated for that one. Yeah, and then at the very end it veered off and we were okay.
Damn.
Like honestly, Tampa. Like, shit. Knock on wood, but Tampa's been very lucky.
That's plastic.
That is plastic.
That's my hands.
Here,
that's linoleum.
Huh?
That was linoleum on the floor.
No, the trim around.
The trim.
That was my plastic.
Very
cup.
nice.
That's a good sound.
Gotta have superstitious shit that we do. Are you superstitious at all, Landon?
Yes and no. Like this is my
in what ways?
I don't like it when people say things that are like, okay, like something unusual is happening. That's good. It's like, wow, I can't believe no one's fucked with us or messed with us or anything. And then someone like says something. Like, wow, I can't believe it's like, why would you say that? I don't know if that's really superstitious, but whenever things are going in good luck, and instead of like questioning it or like talking about it, it's like, let's just keep it going and not say anything.
Right. You don't want to manifest something bad to happen.
Yeah. I don't want to put that possibility out there.
That we have the power of manifestation.
Plain and simple.
I agree.
I 100% believe that us human beings have the power to manifest anything that we put our energy towards. So if we continuously think, oh my God, I hope I never get kidnapped by a serial killer, and everywhere you go, you're looking around the next corner for a serial killer.
You'll see it.
Because you know he's right there, then you're more inclined to fucking... Definitely, fucking.
No,
taking my serial killer.
The thoughts you can have that you have can become reality. If you don't think about it, then something maybe not will not happen.
Exactly. Just better not to speak it. You know what I mean?
Speak anything into existence.
That's why it's also important to be like always positive, you know.
That's a good point. The thing is, it's important to be positive, and it's a very hard, especially this last year, the pandemic and being shut down and stuff. Like, I think everyone around the world dealt with that.
I don't think you should force positivity.
There's supposed to be forcing positivity, and then there's an idea of trying to improve your process so you think more positively as a result. Like, for instance, being grateful, actively grateful. Like, if you every day say 10 things you're grateful for, you're gonna feel better. Plain and simple. Like, you're gonna be more positive, and you're gonna feel better for like. So it's all about those kind of things. That's what's most important.
But it's not going to be positive if you're fucking fucked up, I think, because if you're still positive, okay, it will be better.
Hold on, no, Steph's locked out. Sorry.
Like, if you're like stuck in the middle of nowhere doing fucking heroin, and you're shooting up every day, and you're trying to be, well, my life is great, I'm like, having a good day today. You know, I mean, no, you're wrong. Not, because you're dying slowly inside.
So there it's wrong. There you should, like, be not positive and get up and going. But I think in general it's just important, I think.
100%. It's very important. People are very afraid to admit that something is going wrong. People, I think, are really afraid to admit, like, anything bad about themselves. If they're like, especially if they continuously make the same mistakes over and over, that's when they want to look at it the least. Is when, oh man, I got kicked out of this house, and I got kicked out of this house, and people just keep on kicking me out. But it's gonna get better. But there's the thing, everyone listening at home, you can't just continuously do the same things over and over and over again, expecting anything to change. You can't, folks. It doesn't work.
Wow. That is true.
That's the definition of insanity. And I see that shit happen all the time. People complain about it to me. People complain about their fucking lives, and I can watch their life because I know them.
But they don't change anything.
They don't do anything. They don't do anything at all. So you say you went to college here in the U.S. Was that your decision, or was that something like your parents wanted you to do?
No. So that was my decision.
Right
so actually, how it all like started, my whole America like story. I was in high school in Germany, and we had like a school, like a high school exchange thing for 3 weeks with a school close to Milwaukee, Greendale High School.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I used to live in Wisconsin. Right on. Do you ever go anywhere near a town called Beaver Dam?
Beaver Dam? No.
It's kind of in the middle.
Do they really call a town Beaver Dam?
In Wisconsin, I lived in.
These people aren't very imaginative.
I lived.
Just saying.
I lived in Manchester.
But so that's how it started. So I like was there for like high school exchange for 3 weeks. Then I liked it so much there, and then I came back for 1 year right after that to the same high school, and then I went back to high school in Germany, got my graduated from there, and then 4 years or 3 years later I came back and got my bachelor's and master's in Missouri.
That's really
cool. And so it was my decision. So I had different schools as an option for soccer, but I just chose the best scholarship, to be honest.
Well,
I get it.
What were your majors?
I wouldn't.
Bachelor's in business management and marketing, and then I got my master's degree and MBA in business intelligence.
Right on. That's some useful shit.
I was gonna say those two words, useful shit.
But holy shit, I gotta say, high school in Germany was so much harder. Fuck. I should not say that.
Dude, it is.
No, because then my fucking German friends see that now and say, oh, what, the college was so easy, but okay, I'm only
No, dude, education is a joke in the U.S., folks. We all know this.
Oh, it completely, did you go to high school at all here?
Yeah, so for 1 year, for 1 year exchange thing.
It's a joke.
Bullshit.
High school's a joke.
It's completely a fucking social experience.
But there's high school, then there's college, and there's a long time nothing, and then there's fucking German high school. Literally, German high school was much harder than fucking American college. I barely graduated from my high school in Germany, and it's very hard to graduate from there because it's so hard there. But,
you think it's just they require a higher level of intelligence, or is the work just weirdly harder?
Both.
Yeah?
Both. Yeah. And no, I forgot. Oh yeah, high school was harder. Yeah, and
That's what we do here.
that's what we do. Yeah, so high school was just so much harder than college. I barely graduated from high school in Germany, and I got my bachelor's and master's plus college athlete in 4 years, which is like usually takes 6 years.
Yeah, that's
because
crazy.
It's just, for me, it's like the classes they were so easy.
The thing is, a lot of things, and this is a weird position it's in. It's like the university is in what it should be because it's what it is. They need to be more honest about it. It's a degree factory. You're paying them money, right? So it's like, you got a scholarship, but in general, it's like you pay them money. You get a degree. It used to be, you get an education. The degree didn't matter so much. It's that you got educated, but that's not the world we live in. It's about the degree, and it's a service industry.
Which is disgusting.
It's a service industry. That's what it comes down to.
I mean,
you go to a trade school, you learn about this shit. You learn about this shit in a trade school. You learn that an XLR has 3 pins.
Yeah,
and it goes in like this.
I mean, no job you start, you know anything. You learn everything on the job because college is only a degree. Like, what knowledge does it give you besides like fucking lectures? I mean, that's why I think
it teaches you what bathrooms people can use. And
should go to college for certain things that require a higher level
like
of
STEM degrees.
That's how it is in Germany.
Maybe music theory. Going and seeing a professor for music theory.
Hold on.
Okay, that's like very deep. I'm not able to think that deep right now.
That's music theory is some very intensely complex shit.
Music theory.
The roots of music. It's how music is.
Oh, like blues. How blues.
Not only
more than that. It's more like. Or what is music? Music is organized groups of sound. Was that?
It's more like.
It's more about like
music is time signatures. Why time signatures mean what they mean. If you go through music theory, you'll be able to decipher as you listen A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you fucking.
Well, I think it's technically, I think through trade school you could learn that too.
No, the worst thing ever for music is trade schools. That is the worst plague that has ever fucking happened to music at all, ever.
I didn't know they taught music in trade schools.
Well, they teach audio engineering. They teach shit that involves music, and they teach.
That's what you do, right?
Yeah. Well, they teach shit that involves music, and they teach you. You can learn how to produce. You can learn. Well, not produce.
Well, no, those are whole different schools.
Mix and master.
Like, but they have what's it called? FullSail or whatever in Orlando.
FullSail is a fucking joke. People that came to our audio crew out of FullSail had no idea what the fuck they were doing, and it really pissed us off.
Really?
Yeah.
Because my thing is like my understanding was FullSail was one of the most prestigious like universities for it. Where like literally, it was like holy shit. If you went to FullSail, like you could get like a job with basically any fucking.
You can get a job in it, but that doesn't mean you know what the fuck you're doing, and that doesn't mean that the band's gonna enjoy what you did. That doesn't mean that you get hired back. No, what you want is the guy that's been that's been in his basement since he was 6 years old. Not me either. It's the guy that's been fucking working with this shit since he was 6 years old, and he never got taught by anybody but himself and the fucking people around him that knew what the fuck they were doing. Because you go, like, really, like, that's what I've noticed through this shit. I've been doing this shit my entire life, man. And fucking, like, that's all I've ever done. People who came from FullSail had their head up their ass. They had no idea what the fuck was going on. You can't learn how to hear. You can't learn how to feel there. You can't learn. No one can teach you how to feel this shit.
But then how would a university do it better than FullSail?
Because you don't. Because that's not even what I'm talking about.
You're
not going to school.
Parts.
Yeah, if you go to, if you're a musician and you're already a musician, and then you fucking pile a bunch of knowledge about music theory on top of that, you're a fucking monster. You're unstoppable.
I feel like you just gotta read music.
You're unstoppable.
I feel like once you read music, that's like the big difference.
Well, there's a lot to reading music. Music theory is the ability to read music.
Well, obviously, that's definitely.
But I feel like
it's a big part of it. That's one of the biggest parts.
An element is the
biggest part of music. One of the biggest parts.
I feel like if you feel music, I think you can read it. Like, no, I feel like
if you I don't read music
because I love fucking music.
Check it out. Whatever.
Check it out.
I think
as a musician that does it, I play the guitar and I play instruments, but I cannot read music. I'm fluent in these instruments and I know which keys and what goes where, but it's not because I looked at it. It's because I learned that my hands go like this and I play G. My hands go like this and I play A. I learned through
the forms.
Muscle memory.
You remember the forms.
And through that, you can learn scales. You can learn all of that shit. But
you can still be a good musician without reading music.
You fucking amazing musician.
You absolutely 100% can.
But it will help you a lot.
It'll help you a lot. It'll take you to just
it's a different level.
It'll just give you another little step up.
Also, I'll put it this way: you put some sheet music from a piano in front of you or something, you're going to be able to read that, and you're going to be able to translate it to your shit. You know what I mean?
100%.
And there's something cool about that because it connects you historically with sheet music and stuff. You know,
I can still write my own shit, but in the form of I'm just playing this. Okay, I remember what I did. Okay, I remember what I did. I went from G to A to this, but I'm not writing the notes.
You're not
writing the notes on the key on the
staff,
which is
you're not doing it on a staff.
I'm not writing the treble clef or the bass clef, and I'm not going through. Which is really important information to have, but it's also really important to be able to hear something and go, "Oh, that's G."
That's hard. Hold on. That's very hard. That is very hard for people to do. Not chords, because chords you have multiple notes in the chord that help you. But like an individual note, that's hard.
You can do that with anything. You can do that with a vacuum. You can see what key a vacuum is in.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's true because I mean, like I might even have my guitar tuner because a guitar tuner.
Anything. Check it out here.
Sharp or flat?
That's a key. That has a key. Yep. Well, it's a
I wouldn't think that had a key.
What?
It does.
I'm like,
everything has a frequency.
It makes a certain sound. That's weird.
Doesn't. Everything has a frequency and therefore has a key. If you were to extend this, it would sit at a certain frequency. Each key sits at its own frequency. Now this is true.
Yeah,
each note. Well, I know. each note is an assembly of a bunch of different frequencies. From 20 hertz to 50 hertz. So not every frequency is present in each note. If you can extend a frequency, you have a pitch. If you were to extend this, it would, or even if you were to like
then you have a pitch,
put a reverb on, you would have a pitch.
Makes sense.
You would
have
a pitch,
of course.
Yep. You would have a pitch.
Yeah.
That's why like triangles and musical instruments like that, like ding. That's the thing. That's an impact, the same as this, but there's not much resonance here.
There's nothing.
There's not much.
This, you take a piece of metal.
There's more resonance here. That actually is more obvious of a key than this, or a note than this. See, this is really intricate shit, and it goes all the way into the skin of the fucking universe. Everything has a frequency. Everything has a key. That's why songs in the key of life. 33 hertz, 33.3 hertz. Humans vibrate at 33.3 hertz.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because everything does have it. What about like a tree?
I don't know.
The what?
Okay, I was saying like a tree.
Like wood.
What?
Like that's another reason.
That's another
you can make wood knockers. The knockers, the wood knockers.
Okay.
Those things that you slam together.
But what about the wind? Like the sound of the wind?
Yeah. That can have a key too. Yep. That's because that's
vibrating my clothing.
Wind.
So
think about it. Yeah. Think about the sound of the wind passing through a canyon. Right? That's the same thing you're doing. You're just blowing into a flute. You're using wind. Yeah. Nature has a whole bunch of wind instruments that just are in the form of canyons, and the nature makes its own music, man.
The best music. And see, like nature's music, holy shit, it's awesome.
And you can only learn that so much. Yeah. You can only learn so much of that in the classroom.
No. That's true. There are things to be. My thing is, school isn't important because of what you learn in the classroom.
Should they come with this from the topic of school?
Yeah, you see how this works?
Shit,
It's wild.
It's cool, right?
My whole thing is like with school, I feel like it's more about like being able to deal with
what
people.
was even I don't even remember the discussion from the school anymore because we talked about that.
It just keeps evolving.
That's awesome.
I asked you how you ended up here.
Yeah,
how you ended up going to school. And then that's the point of a podcast, man. It just keeps on rolling.
And you fucking fun. That's awesome.
Find a spot. Find little pockets and sweet spots, bro.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But like, I think school's important for socialization. I think that's the most important thing. Because you have to learn how to deal with people. Because people are.
But if you would start working, you would deal with people too.
What's up?
If you start working right away, you would deal with people too.
That's true, but wouldn't it like you? Hold on, I'll address both points. Like, yes, you obviously you have to deal with people in different space because you're working with them, but I feel like being able to relate to people and see how people think and how people treat other people and like being witness to that. Because honestly, people in high school are usually terrible. Like, so the worst time where people are the biggest shitheads, I feel like, is high school, because everyone's super cocky. Everyone thinks they're awesome. We don't know anything. You know, so it's very important to see what people are like at their worst, because you can kind of see where people are coming from, and you can call out bullshit later in life. And I think that's important. Like, and like you were saying, it stops at like 5th grade, or sorry, you say 5th grade?
5th or 6th grade. I think is important up to then.
I know, because you're not going through puberty. You gotta go through people with puberty and hormones and shit going. That's wild.
Well,
Awful people.
I was taken out of school in 7th grade.
So I was like 13?
I was about 12, 13, yeah.
12, 13? So what I'm saying is shit, like...
But, you know, as someone who was homeschooled, you don't ever stop interacting with people. The fuck?
I don't know anybody in Germany homeschooled.
Imagine...
being homeschooled.
That's what I'm saying, is a lot of people, let's say, they get homeschooled, so it's like, where are they finding their friend group? Because a lot of people don't play outside anymore.
I went to school till 7th grade. That's where I found my friend group. I didn't stop hanging out with people. What the fuck? I didn't just go home and go, okay, guys that I like.
I'm surprised, because I'm just saying a lot of people. You know,
I got pulled out of school in 7th grade, but I went to school. I had friends from school, and then you have more freedom. Then you can go wherever you want. So then
usually people, I think,
can go to the park and meet a new friend at the park, and you know you're not stricken to your fucking house.
I think people would absolutely imagine that it's the opposite with homeschool kids. They would assume that they're super sheltered and that they don't, like, the parents would let them out of their sight.
That's maybe a stereotype.
That's a stereotype, 100%.
Definitely, but I can see why people would think that. But I mean, I agree with homeschooling.
But I know a couple homeschool kids that were like that.
Yeah,
and their parents were just sticklers and overprotective. And
that's just it. Like, because if your parents are your only influence, you don't get any. They can control everything about your life. Yeah.
Which is
homeschooling can be fucking dangerous. That's like my thing. I'm not saying I like homeschooling, but that shit can be really bad for people, because they never meet someone who has a different opinion. They never meet like people of different race or something.
There was homeschooling groups in
their house. They never leave their fucking property.
There was groups of people that would get together.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
So it's like a small group.
Which I never participated in that, but I had new people who would fucking participate in going and getting together with friends.
There are certain things about homeschooling too that you can do. If you can play sports at your local public school if you're homeschooled,
or you can go to the right fucking park,
to try out for their sports teams and to play on like the sports teams.
You can go to the Civic Center as well and join a little league team. The little league teams in my hometown weren't specifically through the school.
I did little league till I was like 7. I did it from like 3 to 7, and it was fun. Obviously, I didn't learn how to play baseball worth shit.
I did. I loved baseball.
I loved playing it, but I was terrible.
Shit.
I liked watching it.
I don't know anything. Like,
baseball's terrible.
Hold the bat. Holy shit, no clue. Like, dude, I never hit the baseball once in my life. You know what? I tried like 50 times.
I gotta tell you, maybe have you gone to the batting cage? Is that where you did it?
Yeah, exactly.
Or someone throwing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, someone throwing it.
Okay, like, because that's the thing you can do. Sometimes there's not a lot of batting cages anymore. You know what I mean? They're out there.
But does it make a difference?
They're out there. Well, I mean, you get a consistent throw, and so you're getting the same throw.
There's not somebody throwing it.
It's a machine doing it.
There's a bunch of.
Then I would never hit it. Like, people throw it to me like super softly and lightly, and I still didn't hit it.
You can also put it on a tee.
What?
That's how you start off. That's how you start off playing baseball.
Literally,
this is what you do when you're like 3 or 4 years old. Just play T-ball.
This high, and then the ball goes.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
And that's how you start, because you learn it. You learn even without looking.
Well, that's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
Everybody.
That's how you get the muscle memory for it, to like understand like where you're supposed to be at, where the pitches are usually going to be. Like, obviously, like, I don't think I could hit it. If someone threw a baseball at me, I think there's like, most likely I'm not going to hit it, because I'm not warmed up and I haven't hit a baseball in years. I haven't hit a baseball in at least 15 years.
I think it's 50-50 on my end.
I was saying like 40 like hit, 60 miss on my part.
For me, it's minus 100.
You would bet on like losing that.
Yeah.
Shit.
I would put my money all on that.
I would just, I don't know. It's been like, I was like 15 last time I hit a baseball.
Yeah.
If I would hit a baseball, if you bet on it, I would shoot up like Bitcoin. 100%. The odds are so small.
Right?
That's what I'm talking about. Speaking of which, like, what are you thinking about this whole crypto thing?
I don't know. It's tough.
Have you invested?
I was thinking about it. I didn't do it yet because I don't think it can have that big of a future. But
hold on,
and now I don't want to like invest in Bitcoin anymore. Maybe like I was looking into different other coins.
Ethereum and Dogecoin are what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Ethereum has been shooting up. It's almost at 5. They think
that's
it can reach
a
5,000.
currency in a fucking video game. You know that?
crystals?
But there's like
Black Ops Cold War.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well,
Ethereum crystals?
Well, that's from Castle in the Sky,
Holy
which
shit.
is a
That's the
Miyazaki
same,
movie.
This is the same fucking currency in Black Ops Cold War that you use to upgrade your shit.
That's funny.
but like right now, there's like every kind of Bitcoin already. Like for a game, and like Steve Aoki, you guys know Steve Aoki, the DJ? He has his fucking own cryptocurrency.
That's
like, I think it's the Aoki.
There is a bubble. Like there's definitely a lot of bullshit. Like with the NFTs, also. Like there's a good idea behind what an NFT is, but people just buying I think it's to launder drug money. Honestly, you know what I mean?
That's what
I'm paying for this weird little thing. I'm paying $300,000. Like who the fuck are these people? And they're all like 19 and 20. It's like no, dude. It's money laundering, which I'm totally okay with. Like launder that fucking shit.
Yeah,
totally cool.
I mean, you can track it. You can track it. I mean, that's the thing.
That's what's cool about it. So there is a future in it, but I think it is limited. I think it's going to be to like no more than like 20 currencies top. And even those bottom ones, no one will know anything about. Maybe 3 or 4 will like vie for the top spots. Like Bitcoin is always going to be there. I think it's reached a lot of its potential. I think not that hold on. Let me also say I don't know shit about crypto. I'm just bullshitting, but it's my gut. Ethereum is slowly gonna fucking go up. Dogecoin is worth, if you have like $100 or like $1,000, like whatever you have to spare, just throw something in Dogecoin, because if it goes up, you're gonna be fucking rich. Like if I had gotten Dogecoin 6 months ago, I literally would be a millionaire. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's how it goes. Like there's certain things that if you like know and you can like just have a vibe on, it's like you might be a millionaire overnight, literally. If you sell your shit.
I mean, that's true.
And that's appealing. That's a very American appeal right there. It's like the quick money. Like,
but that's why I only.
But that's also investing. Like why wouldn't you? Do that
I mean, right now I would only invest in like the new ones and the still very low held ones. I mean. Yeah, because make it right or don't make it at all, I think, right? Either like
do it right or don't fucking do it.
So now if you start investing in Bitcoins, you might still make some money, but not like you can make that much money anymore. So now I would risk it in the new ones.
People are familiar with like what Bitcoin is, you know what I mean? Even if they don't like get it, they like know what it is. It's not like that with the other ones yet. They're all still underground except for Bitcoin. Like even like, you know, boomers know about Bitcoin.
But it's also like dangerous. Like shout out to my German economics teacher, because he told me he like bought like a shit ton of Bitcoin. Like I don't know, like he told me like 100 or whatever, right when they started, and then like somehow like 90 of like Bitcoins like got stolen or whatever, because like the like bank he had it with, like they just like disappeared and they took all the Bitcoins, and then like most of his investment is like gone now. He still like has like 200,000 plus or whatever, but he would have been like a multi-millionaire now. But
that's
so
the scary part to me.
You never know.
It's data that can and data can go bye like that.
Well, my thing is, it's also
if you destroy the hard drive it lives in.
That is true.
Holy fuck!
It's absolutely wild. Like, no, I knew about Bitcoin when it was like $15 per coin, you know? But I was like I tried downloading a wallet, and I remember I was like, how do you get Bitcoin? I would just look that up without buying it on like an exchange.
It's so complicated, like to set up like everything.
I think they're making it better nowadays. Like I saw one thing they're advertising. I don't know if they'll have this in Europe, because I think crypto regulations might be different. It's different for different countries. So like it might be like allowed in like Germany or something. It's from Visa. It's a crypto card. It's a metal like credit card that runs off. I haven't really seen how it works, but it runs off of cryptocurrency. It doesn't use USD or anything. I think you put different cryptocurrencies and like pay with different currencies at different times.
That's already a thing.
Yeah, like hold on, it's not out yet, but they're like enroll now or apply now. Like you can reserve. You can try to reserve a card, like apply for it and see if they'll approve you, and you can get it when it comes out. It is. It's wild. Like the fact that you're not using money, but. I don't know. I think anything's a better bet than the US dollar at this point. That shit's going to be worth it's already not worth that much, and it's going to be worth nothing within a year. Give it a year. I'm telling you, shit's going to get bad.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was like pretty stable like 2 years, 3 years ago.
Dude, that's one thing like people don't give Trump credit for, but like the dollar was doing good, and the economy was going strong. He did shit good, fucking like trade, like tariffs and shit against China, like goes out NAFTA. Like he did some good shit economically that people don't want to acknowledge, you know?
People just don't want to acknowledge anything good about him in general at all.
They see a bad tweet and they get really pissed off and they just hate him and they won't get over it.
Well,
and that's what it comes down to. I get it.
He's a lot more than just a bad tweet, I think.
Well,
I mean, so the thing for me, because that was exactly my college time, and I was always so pissed that the dollar is doing so well, because for me it made it more expensive, because then the euro was worth less, and now we're like rising again, and for me it's cool because my money is in Europe, so whenever like the dollar is like worse, for me it's like cheaper actually.
Last time I checked, the euro was $1.18. I would guess, if I had to guess, just randomly guess from my gut, I would say it's like a 1.23.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I would say 1.21.
Okay, so it's really close. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. That's what I'm saying is, okay, so the euro's been doing better. I remember when the pound used to be.
But look it up. I want to know.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm guessing. Like, what would you guess if you had to guess how much a euro is worth compared to a U.S. dollar?
I have no idea.
USD to euro. Oh my! Oh, hold on, I did it the wrong way.
Yeah, I've seen a euro.
1.21.
I got a really.
Yep, that's.
It was 1.21.
Thanks.
But hold on, okay? So I don't know if you follow. What about the pound, the British pound sterling? Because I remember like 10, 15 years ago, that was worth $2 American, or almost $2 American.
So the pound is worth more than the euro.
I would say 1.34. That's what I checked last time.
No.
It's worth more than the euro.
Because like, so the thing, it's no. I think. Oh my god, no. That's harsh.
What?
Okay, I say 1 point. No, because like there is this. I'm thinking about the Swiss franc, so the Switzerland and the British one, but I don't know which one is which. But I say 1.06.
Okay, I was gonna say I think it's gonna be higher than that. Hold on, so that's British pound sterling. It is 1.39 US dollars. I said 1.34, so it's worth like $1, almost $1.40.
I thought the conversion from euro to pounds.
No, sorry, my bad. I was doing USD.
Then I'm kind of close, I think, though. But
yeah, 1.39. So it's like I remember when it was like 1.89. Like it used to be worth a lot more. Yeah. Money ain't worth shit when you keep printing it constantly. Yeah. You know,
it's a number.
It never was. I'll put it this way. Money hasn't been money in this country since we got taken off the gold standard. It used to be that, I don't know if this is how other countries were, but in the U.S., before 1934, I believe it was, you used to be able to go into a bank and give U.S. dollars, give it to them, and they would give you gold. If anytime you want to trade,
I mean, that's how it still is.
Gold.
That's how it still is in like some countries. Like if you go to some countries that are like, don't have like that good of a currency, like if you give them, for example, euros, but their main currency is not euros, they take it because
Colombia.
They prefer to take like the good money and then trade it in.
It's because there's less inflation. Like with the Colombian peso, when I was there, it changed. There's a Colombian peso was 3,473 when I first got there. So the 3,473 pesos to $1. Like 2 days later, it was 3,800. So it's like that changes. That's a huge change. So it's like if you keep your money in the peso that's constantly changing, when you actually need it, you might get fucked. So it's like they want to keep U.S. money, like because they're like the dollar stays pretty consistent.
The currency is like stocks.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's like good and it's bad. It's like fucking
exactly. You don't want to gamble with your money. Like that's one thing. Like the cash is you kind of want that to remain consistent.
Yeah. When I was in Turkey, that's like we are like super fortunate. We like make money like Americans, Germans, and stuff. And then when we go on vacation, like when I was in Turkey, everything is so cheap because compared to them, we make so much money.
It's wild.
And literally, like I was on the fucking boat ride, like that connects like Europe and Asia, and like was on the boat for like an hour and converted to their currency. I paid 20 cents for that hour boat ride.
Dude,
it's like insane.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's like insane. And like the food, like I literally
get full off on an amazing meal for like $2.
Yeah. I thought like I'm gonna go grocery shopping, make my own food, but it was not worth it because literally for breakfast, dinner, and lunch, I paid $3 and I was completely full.
Like, was that restaurants or mostly street food? Because I like street food when I go to places.
Street food,
it's good.
Because
that's usually the best food. That's what everyone eats.
I always eat street food.
Is the best.
Like walk in, get it real quick, and
that's just it.
Like the traditional stuff. So I try to like eat as much everywhere I go. I always try to eat as much traditional stuff as possible.
You want to see what they got? Like what. I haven't been to Turkey yet. My parents have. They absolutely loved it. They went on.
I talked to your mom about it.
I'm sure my mom mentions it all the time, and she tells me about the food all the time, and I just know that it's awesome. Like that's one thing the U.S. is very lacking in. Not every part. There are certain parts like the farmlands and stuff where people actually eat what they're growing, but we eat a lot of processed bullshit. Where
oh my god!
It's just a state of things, man.
Yeah.
Like,
but the thing I gotta say is because I lived in like different areas of like the U.S. as well, and in college I literally had practice twice a day. Was playing like 2.5 hours soccer probably a day.
That's nuts.
And I gained weight because the food was so shitty.
Or you eat like McDonald's?
What were you eating?
I've never worked out that much, and I never gained as much weight.
Yeah.
What were you eating?
Because so in my fraternity, we had meat like twice a day, like every fucking day, and always like.
Was it with bread or just by itself?
Meat, bread, mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese will do you. That's it. It's the mac and cheese.
It's the mac and cheese.
Anytime it's pasta.
Yeah.
It's
Friday
totally
was
mac and cheese.
Friday was mac and cheese and fried chicken day. Yep, that's how it is. But it was amazing.
So like every week.
Did you make it or did you order it out?
No, it's in
Did you get a KFC or something?
No, that's what in my fraternity. Our chef made it. Our chef made it, and it was unlimited, so you could eat as much as possible, and that was the problem, because if you have a fucking mac and cheese day and fried chicken day every Friday for lunch, then you stack up and eat so much. Of course, you can make 5 hours of exercise.
We were
you
talking
will
about
gain
this
weight.
earlier.
Yeah.
We went to a restaurant earlier and we were talking about nutrition and little shit.
Have you been to Fresh Kitchen while you've been here?
I'm like, and that's what I wanted to say with that. Like, and now I see it in Florida, and I'm like, every day I'm like eating good food, because here at least there's the option. In Missouri, there's only fucking fast food chains
Anywhere
as
that's
an option.
landlocked in the U.S. is not going to be, for the most part, great. There's exceptions to that, like Las Vegas, you're going to eat great food, you know? Even though it's landlocked. But generally, like the Midwest.
It's hard to find literally a non-fast food restaurant. That's just how it is.
No, because it makes sense. Because it makes the familiar chains where everyone has a favorite thing, they're going to stop there and order. But like take a gamble on, let's say, a restaurant that they're actually have to sit down on, and there's no one, especially when everyone's spread out in like the Midwest, it's not all clustered together unless you're in a city. Like,
I hate it when fucking people inferred that Michigan is the Midwest.
I mean, like,
it's the Northeast.
It's not.
Michigan is on a map,
bro.
I think it is. I think it's
Wisconsin
is Ohio. It's east of Ohio. It's east of Ohio, or sorry, west of Ohio.
Barely,
it's literally
just
not.
barely.
But Ohio is the point.
But it's sitting on top of Ohio.
I think it's part of the
Listen to
Northeast
me.
too.
Maybe culturally, I'll agree with you culturally, but not geographically.
Geographically, it's sitting on top of Ohio and Indiana.
Hold on.
It is sitting directly.
But hold on, it has
top.
lakes dividing it. It's not even geographically there. It has Great Lakes dividing it. Like literally,
Then
it's a whole different peninsula. It's like a whole different
then
part.
It's the true north.
You can call it the true north, and I'm fine with that. But it's not the northeast.
It's 100% the northeast.
You can call it the middle north
because everything.
It's not in the middle.
Everything
it's
left
off to the east.
Because there has to be a cut, and everything to the left is northwest.
Hold on, let's map time. Hold on.
No, they say that like fucking. The Midwest is from like Michigan straight down on that way, which is the most
until like Wyoming.
Dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Wyoming, no.
Hold on, let me show you. Hold on.
I know it's irritating as fuck.
You map of U.S. states with regions. I'm gonna do that with.
It's gonna look disproportionate.
It is.
Of course. Oh, of course. I know it's very disproportionate. Yeah, I know that.
I don't like that.
Because I mean, even like the Midwest, it's like almost in the east. It's like
right, that's why you shouldn't be called the fucking Midwest.
Okay. You're right. I can see why
there's nothing in between.
I see why you don't call it the Midwest, but I don't want to call that. I wouldn't call that the fucking Northeast though. So I agree. It's not the Midwest, but that is not the Northeast.
Yep.
That is not Northeast though. It has Great Lakes dividing it. And like the Northeast is that cluster of Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island.
Just to clarify for everybody, you lost, Landon.
No,
you did because it's in the green.
Yep.
But the green, I mean, Florida's in the green.
We are east.
Wait, that might be. Oh, that's time zones. Those are time zones.
Okay,
those clocks. Those are time zones.
Well, then does time zone.
No, there's literal clocks on it. That was like an Amazon poster. Sorry, guys. That was an unreliable source. I'll let you down.
Oh my god, that's like something of. That's so funny. That's so funny.
It's still not the Midwest, Landon.
Okay, I'll like see that, but it's not the Northeast.
Oh my god. That is so hilarious.
Where's he going with that?
Yeah, where is he going? Where are you? Where are you?
Where's he going with the bomb? My goodness. This is great.
Yeah, very chill and relaxing. I'm so glad I came. I'm so glad.
We're glad to have you, man.
Yeah, and I'm like super like amazed by like all the like mics and like yeah, it's like sounds so cool with these headphones on.
Right on. Yeah, man, I try to do it the right way, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you do something, you should do it right.
Anything worth doing is worth doing right.
Yeah, like if you do something, do it right.
There's dignity. I like this. There's dignity in any job well done.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Straight up. If you do a good job, it shows. And there's pride in that, and there's something that people can't take away from you.
That's why even when I bust a table, I try to do a good job.
You do a good job. Like, it shows. Like, you can tell if a table's been busted, like properly or not.
Owned a bar. That's where I feel. That's what I'm saying. That's why I identify with you so much, is because I grew up in a bar because my mom owned a bar.
Same here.
It's like.
So you guys have a very similar mindset, you say?
Maybe not mindset.
Not a lot of like we don't. I'll put it this way: we have different opinions on a lot of things, but
I saw that.
I don't think I've disagreed with you heavily on really anything other than like I'm trying to think of something I've disagreed with you with.
I don't. I think there's certain things we haven't gotten in. There's certain things we haven't gotten into.
Parts of gun laws, I think we disagree on certain parts.
Yeah.
Like little tiny parts that don't really get in each other's way.
And I'm on the complete different side.
Well, I'm on the side that guns should be harder to get. If you're crazy and you want to kill a room
I'm glad
full
you
of
said
people.
if you're crazy, because usually when people are like guns should be hard to get, that means they don't want black people having guns, because that's historically what gun control has always been about. Is disarming minorities.
That everybody should own a gun.
Everyone should,
wants a gun.
That wants to, yes, but the big important part about that is like it's your responsibility to protect yourself and be responsible for your safety. You can't expect the police down the road to actually be competent enough to save you or protect you. You know, and especially like we've seen a lot of.
But you shouldn't be thinking like that. But that's what we talk about.
My thing is you should be prepared for it.
There's a reality here.
You should be prepared for it.
That people,
of course. But I mean, it shouldn't be reality.
It shouldn't be the reality.
Like, I mean, that's
100% right. It should not be the reality.
That's the idealist in you, though. But because it is the reality, and it's not going away.
I mean, like if I see it in Germany, like I told you I've never like touched like a gun like this in my life before. It's like insane. I mean, because we grow up without a gun. Nobody has a gun really, and it's just how it is. And then you don't have to fear. I think that's the way it ought to be. I think the idea that if it's feasible that you do that, then I think you should do that. But I mean, it is because you see it in Germany. It's possible.
It absolutely is possible. There's a lot less people in Germany than there is in America.
And also,
there's a lot more people for the space. I mean, like. Okay. There would be 80 million people put in the state of Montana.
You have a homogenous culture, though. Also, we're a big mishmash of different cultures, different ideas, religions.
Yeah,
all
I mean
this.
that is true.
You have a history, and you have the German people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Whereas we don't have like the American people are a bunch of other people. You know what I mean? That's where we come from. There's not really too many true American people. Even then, before that, several hundred years ago, they were British or some shit. So like, there's not really true Americans in that sense.
Native Americans.
So like, that's the reason I think like that sometimes little socialist policies work in like Norway and like Finland, Sweden, and all those like Scandinavian countries and stuff. But I know Norway's not, or Finland's not Scandinavian, right?
Finland is still part of the.
They do. I know they can. Like Finns consider themselves different. They're like we're Finns. We're not like the same as that.
The Finns are like completely different than everybody else.
Like Russian kind of like.
But they're still part of it.
Where do you think we start in fixing the problem now? In the idea that I shouldn't have
to make a gun law. Nobody has guns. That's just how it is. Sorry, probably everybody disagrees with me.
Well, what if there's people that want a gun specifically for the enjoyment of maybe shooting targets? I mean, or for sport. What if you want to own that AK just because you want to? Why is that not possible?
I mean, for example, my cousin and
what if you're completely
has guns. Individual? My cousin has guns because he's a hunter. Like he goes hunting and he like has like wood, like parts of like his own woods, and he's going hunting there.
Right.
So that's why he's allowed to go. But not everybody can be a like hunter.
But what
like,
if he wanted to just set up some targets on his own property and shoot the targets, and he has no other?
Okay, I don't even know, but I don't think that's allowed. But I don't know 100%.
But what do you think about that? Like
shooting is allowed in Austria, but you have to have tons of permits. I know in Austria because I showed you that Instagram account I follow from that guy who owns all sorts of cool stuff.
But you can't just walk around with your like weapon like.
I know. I don't think you should be allowed to do that.
I think you should. You should definitely be allowed to fucking carry your gun. What's the point of having a gun?
The reality is this, but we're speaking in a reality that doesn't have the necessity to fucking.
But
carry
that's also that's not a human reality.
But that's what I was asking him. Though the question I was asking wasn't the reality. The question is, where do you think we start? And he said. No
make
more
a
gun
law.
laws.
He said make a law that says
no more guns.
No guns.
Now my question
that some
after
people
that,
are still gonna keep it and have it, and then
I think most people would keep it.
Now my question after that,
at least in the U.S. definitely,
is what is the problem with the person that wants to shoot the targets, and that's all he wants to do. He wants to go out into his backyard. He has 100 acres, and he wants like his weapons, but not for protection or anything, but because he's a marksman, and maybe he just likes the ballistics.
I think that's a bad argument.
I mean, then he's
honestly,
Adam. I mean, then he's a sports shooter.
Adam,
so he can have his gun.
If he's a sports shooter, like by like that, if that's what he's doing, then. Yeah, but I mean, holy shit, that's like a deep question.
I disagree because I think the whole thing is like the idea of people being able to have access to arms is like, it sounds like in like Austria and Germany, it's like you have to have money because like you have to have, there's laws that's like you have to keep it in a safe. Like I know that's like a law. It's like you have to keep it in protected places. It's like you have to have money.
That's why I was
to be able to do all these things. So it's like
it's
poor
pretty
people,
specifically American.
No, I'm just saying poor people cannot afford guns basically in like Germany, and like the working class people are just simply not going to be able to afford.
I mean, guns are expensive. Guns are expensive.
I cannot afford a gun.
For example, my cousin, he makes like goes to hunting school right now just because he wants to become a hunter. Wow. Like in Germany,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's like a profession.
No, in Germany it is a profession. Here you guys have hunting season. Exactly, you have hunting season. If you have
that's awesome. I love it.
If you have like a gun, you can go hunting in like deer seasons or whatever. In Germany, you have to like go to school, and it's fucking hard. Like my cousin failed his first test. Like if you're hunting, I think you're gonna be part of like a group, and you like own like parts of the woods, and you're only allowed to go in there, and it's so hard to become like a hunter. So there are almost no hunters.
So you gotta have money.
We'll say
you gotta have
the targets that we were shooting at today.
The permitting's gonna cost a lot of fees and stuff like that. You know,
right.
And it's wild because it's like the poor people can't get in because hunting was always a means, especially in America. It's meant for the poor. It was always like people in North Carolina who never got a permit, hunted illegally. Like they shot a deer out of their back door because they didn't have food, and like plain and simple, they had a freezer full of deer meat, and that's a huge reality in America. Yeah.
Well,
and so it's always been like a poor thing, whereas like in England, Germany, it's always been more of a gentry kind of thing.
It's exclusive.
It's a club. It's like a club. Yeah,
exactly. It's a club.
I got you here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will say that the targets that we were shooting at today were in the shape of human beings.
Yes, they were. As they should be. I mean, in a defensive situation, would you not want something shaped at what you might be shooting at?
Okay, but what
about a deer?
What if you pick a spot on somebody's? No. What if it was a target and just a target and that?
The bullseyes are cool, but the reason I picked that target specifically is because it had separate numbers. It had like 10 separate numbers, so they had like 10 different targets.
I can say you can still become a good shot on just a target.
You can. I think it's just helpful. For instance, not in that situation. I think that a bullseye would have been fine for that situation. Mm-hmm. However, what's nice is like if you're running drills and shit like that, like a lot of people run drills where you're going to want human targets, like, okay, room clearing, things like that.
Do you run drills?
Huh?
Do you run drills?
I have not, no. Okay. I want to go to a Wyoming Antelope Club. It's not in Wyoming. It's in fucking Pinellas Park. Yeah. But that's a gun range, and apparently once every like month on a Saturday or something. That's the reason I haven't done it. It's on a fucking Saturday and I work. But they do... basically like 3-gun, which is where you have a pistol, you run, and then you shoot targets in that. You put that down, you take your rifle out of a barrel, you shoot targets, running to different targets, shooting them, you put it down, you take your shotgun, and it's like timed.
And they like teach you how to clear a fucking room,
It's super cool.
It's military shit.
Well, the thing is, civilians are doing it everywhere, especially
I know.
Tampa's actually one of the big centers for that.
I understand that you believe this is an unrealistic goal, but I
impossible goal. Like, because it's criminal. The thing is, like, okay,
but there's also evolution that we're speaking of here too. You don't think that over time human beings could evolve to a state where they only see necessity for peace? I think they can. Because we're only going forward.
Hold on, though. That's
might be
a long way.
It might be 100,000 years down the road.
Maybe
I'm thinking 100,000 years down the road.
What are we doing the next 100,000 until then? Though?
Well, guess what? We only get about 80 to 100 years, so we can't think within our own lifetime. We have to make steps now for that. So that in 100,000 years, it's even possible. Because the further we think about war and the further we defend ourselves for war, the further we open the door for war to come to us. That's the same thing that you were talking about not speaking shit into existence. You don't think that maybe, just maybe, that if the same way you're speaking shit into existence, that being ready and carrying a gun around in preparation for somebody for the event that you may need to use that weapon could possibly be manifesting that situation into your own life?
Wait, hold on. I didn't understand the last part of the question. I understood the first part, which is like you carry a gun manifests the idea of what?
Do you think
manifest
that
what specifically?
Wait, do you think that maybe in the same token that if you speak about something it'll happen, right? Maybe that if you carry a gun and you prepare for somebody to make it so that you need to use your gun. By preparing for that, you don't think that maybe you could be manifesting that?
I think some people.
Yeah,
I think certain.
I 100% agree.
I think there's certain individuals that definitely do that. This is my thing: is you just don't change anything. Like you don't take more risks because you carry a gun. You don't walk down that. Hold on. Like you don't walk down that dark alley just because you have a gun. It's a bad idea to do that regardless. You walk in the well-lit street.
No, you wouldn't be doing it to yourself. You wouldn't be consciously doing it.
Yeah, you just
but like by the same. But listen, we were just talked about this, and you said you believe in this. It's by the same way that if you always think about the serial killer behind the next it's more likely to happen to you. So if you're like,
I mean, I just think
stress about it. Wait, maybe not you. But if you somebody who stresses about it and always has their gun on them because what if somebody comes for me and they're gonna fucking kill me? You know what I mean? Those guys. What if that?
How often do you hear about those though? Honestly.
I know plenty of people that think like that. Yeah,
how many times have you have shot somebody? Like
no, I'm not saying should shoot somebody. No, I did not say that.
So you're saying manifest though, but manifest would mean that someone dies at the end of it. Like manifesting means that shit's gonna happen. You manifest.
But I mean, listen to the whole thing. Listen to the whole thing. That's not what I'm saying. Trust me, I'm not saying that. I'm saying by preparing for the situation, you manifest the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, but so should you never prepare for anything?
No, I'm not.
Because that's kind of like what that logic entails. The question
wasn't that. The question was, do you think that maybe? I wasn't telling you. I was asking you. I wasn't using logic. I wasn't saying I believe this either, which I do believe in to some respect. Like you said, you believe if you speak upon it, it could happen. Like and things are going good, and you say some shit like, "Oh my god, I can't believe everything's going so fucking good," and then a fucking piano falls on your head or whatever. Fucking like by that same token, what if by the same guys that maybe are doomsday preppers and fucking maybe the people who take so many vitamins because they don't want cancer or whatever the fuck, maybe they put their energy towards that so fucking much that they manifest a situation into their life that involves them having to confront that involves them having to pull their weapon, that involves them going to the doctor's office because of that thing that won't stop itching in their throat that they've been thinking about nonstop, but they don't have and they have no reason to think about it. But now, maybe in Tampa, with all of the I don't know if you understand the situation in the ghettos.
I've heard I don't know.
There's war zones in this in this country,
and that's like my thing is like the guns are out there,
and that's where I agree. Hold on,
I gotta say something because I feel like I haven't said enough. Like literally, there's fucking war zones in certain parts. There's certain parts of Chicago like you just don't fucking go to unless you live there. You know what I'm saying? Like California is the same fucking like it's all
Michigan
over.
As well.
Baltimore, bro, like it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and you just don't know. There's a war zone going on,
and they just don't look at it.
And hold on, a lot of these mass shootings are also coming from that. Yeah, those are like most of the mass shootings are from. They're all from gang violence.
The vast majority of
guns. Because hold on, take them away.
Hold on, but they're not going to comply. They're gang members. Why would they going to give you your gun?
Listen to me.
You can't go up in those neighborhoods with a cop.
there are neighborhoods in this country
you
that
can't
if
go.
you can't go in. You can't go in. I know. I was pulled.
Now the police cannot go there either.
Out
the police
on me once.
Really?
Wait, listen.
In the ghetto.
The police. I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you. The police can't go there either.
I know. They only go that's what I've heard. They like only go in like special cars, and it's like crazy.
If they're doing a raid, maybe like they'll show up in armored shit, but that's about it. And most of the time, they won't even give a shit that much. At that point, there's like, fuck it, let them deal with it. You know, it's like, so you got this like war going on, and those people are just not going to turn their guns. Why would they? If there's a war going on, you're not gonna turn your guns in the middle of a war when you know you're a person that you hate is not gonna turn in their gun. So you're gonna keep it on you. No one's turning in their shit.
See, my view on this is really complex, as I think we're finding out, because I agree with you about Joe Blow and his fucking lawn chair, but I agree with you when it gets to the hood.
There's also one more thing that people talk about with the mass shootings too, is like, people talk about the AR-15 like it's a totally impossible like thing for a civilian to own, and it makes absolutely no sense, and what the fuck, this is absolutely insane. But it's like, I think it was like 416 people have died in the last 5 years from AR-15s all over the country.
416.
416.
What is AR-15?
The AR-15 is the infamous rifle that everyone talks about. That's like every mass shooter
only
uses
400 something with one gun. That's holy shit.
No. Like the same model, the same model of gun, but there's like 20 million guns. There's 20 million AR-15s in the U.S. There's 20 million AR-15s, but only 416 people have died from them, which is
one year.
In 5 years. Hold on. 500 to 1,000 people each year die of asprin in the U.S. Taking aspirin.
But
more people die of putting things up their ass in the U.S. than die from fucking AR-15s. Like literally, but people gravitate towards that because they're like, it's really heart wrenching and it's fucked up. I'm like, the statistics don't match up, bro.
But you compare it to one type of gun.
That's the most popular rifle by far in America. Dude, that's like 80%.
Well, let's be clear. Let's be clear that the AR-15.
It's how many?
Let's be clear. It's usually not the AR-15 that is said on the news that it is.
Yeah, it is.
No, when people say it's an AR-15.
Yeah, it's usually not. It's usually an AK or some other shit.
Or some other weapon.
They're misidentifying it and they're calling it.
A lot of the times it's a fucking pistol.
Dude, it's no, because people from like New York and shit don't know anything about guns, so they'll put a headline up and it'll be like totally uninformed. Like as you said, it'll just be some shit's like that's not an AR. Like what is wrong with you?
But I mean, you gotta say like where the bad parts are parts on the ghetto where like there's war going on. I mean, nobody really goes even in there.
You can't
not even
go
the
there
police.
and do anything about it.
Exactly, the police doesn't really even go in there. So how many people die that are not even reported? So the number is like so much higher because the most people don't even get identified because they're like somewhere in the ghetto. I don't know.
This is my thing. This is my idea about that though.
I have a secret.
If people are getting shot, like they're usually, unless it's in a very secret location or something, that's kind of public. People hear it, people come to it. But like if someone's actually getting disappeared, that shit, like they're getting them in a different way for the most part. I would think a little more sly, kind of slick, like sneaky way that they disappear. Like no one sees them go. They're sneaky. There's no gunshots are allowed.
I have a secret.
But still, then it's still murder.
Oh, murder's murder. But listen, I mean, whether it's gun or not,
there's a reason for this.
Murder,
But no,
there's a reason for this.
It's not because murder is not murder because you guys wouldn't have as much murder if there was not be that big of an equality between ghetto and rich.
No, exactly. Yes.
So if there were no guns, there were less ghettos, and then there were less murder. So yes.
But you understand that the government put the guns there.
So there is
the government gave the ghetto guns.
Well, they gave them crack. I don't know about the guns.
They gave the ghetto guns as well.
What?
They put gun stores in the ghetto along with the liquor stores.
The government put gun stores in the ghetto.
Okay. Well.
Maybe it's capitalism, bro. Someone saw a need. It's like there's a war zone, so let me open up a fucking like. Well, if there's a mining operation, you want to be the one selling picks and shovels. Straight up, that's capitalism 101, old west shit. Yeah, I mean, that's how it went. Like if there's a gold rush, you don't want to look for gold. You want to sell the tools.
I agree with that.
There's liquor stores and gun stores and
liquor stores too. That's how it's everywhere. And I don't think it's a government conspiracy that if you go in Nebraska right now, there's liquor stores everywhere. It's because that's what people are buying.
Yeah,
maybe that's why it started. I could see why they started.
Listen,
but now, no.
I agree.
This is such a hard thing for me to get through. But I'm doing it for the sake of... I believe that the wars in the ghetto of America are just another attempt to eradicate the black population.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a long time. It started with Planned Parenthood. Well, it started way before that, but Planned Parenthood's another example of that.
The problem is not going to go away because this is what is wanted by the powers that be.
Yeah. The silent people that you don't see. The people who are actually pulling the strings.
Exactly.
And everyone knows there are people pulling the strings.
Let me make it very clear.
But I think
is not going to go away. No, it shouldn't be that way. But nobody's ever going to have the power to change that because you have to have
You would have to have violent revolution.
You'd have to have.
And that's specifically why the Second Amendment exists, is when people get fed up with shit.
That's where I agree with him.
They can take over their.
But if they take over the government, it's going to be inverse because then everything is destroyed and then everybody.
Well, I mean, hold on. Look at Germany, for instance. It got rebuilt. It got rebuilt within a couple of years because of the Marshall Plan. You know, it got rebuilt and shit got going.
That was like the stuff I fucking hated in history. Like that.
The idea that the U.S. came in and helped everything.
So we learned like so much, but like literally like the Marshall Plan, like part
was it a
of
big
history
part
in history.
Was it big?
It was pretty big. Yeah.
See, for us, it was smaller. It was enough that like we know about it, like we know the whole idea, like we know all that, but like.
Well, he's not Germany, so I trust pretty much.
No, absolutely. I would absolutely. You got it more extensive.
We had one semester in high school only learning about like the German politics, Hitler, like Second World War, like only one semester learning about like this whole thing.
Is it something that they kind of like try not
Holocaust,
to like look
everything,
at?
Yeah.
Or is it like confronted head on, or is it?
It's definitely.
No, I mean it's not like it's not. I mean you can mention it. Like I mean it was in the past. So I mean,
right.
I think
like we know what we are now, and so it's not a big deal.
I just want to know how it's like looked at in the
I mean we all know it was bad and stuff, but I mean it's like such a long time ago,
whatever.
so nobody
care. Like,
but I mean everybody knew that we were like, of course, they banned fucked up people.
Well, they banned swastikas and stuff. You can't have swastikas in Germany. That's a thing.
Is it true that if you get arrested if you Sieg Heil?
Sieg what? If you get arrested?
If you do the
Hail Hitler, like the Sieg Heil.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you can't have Nazi gestures in public. Right. There's no like display of like any of that.
I mean, you can have certain tattoos, like 18. The number 18 you can have as a tattoo because it's the
88?
initials.
88 because it's Hitler. Hail Hitler.
Yeah, and 18 is AH, like the numbers and or SS. Like
little
these are the things
and shit, like certain
like swastikas. These are not allowed as a thing, but what I'm we taught like learning for half a year, but I mean we know. And what I wanted to say is I think every sophomore in high school in Germany, every sophomore, or at least in my state, every sophomore goes to the concentration camp. So I've been to a concentration camp. I've been in, like standing in the like gas chambers and stuff like that. I mean you get confronted with it, and I mean they have to do.
What's the energy like there?
I mean,
low.
I mean, a lot of people cry.
Low.
Like if you go with your class, like 20 people or whatever, like a lot of girls usually cry. Like everybody's silent. It's like, I mean, because it's like crazy. I mean, you go there and like you standing there where fucking people got burned and like that's just insane. I mean, it's like
completely
a goosebump.
Obsessed.
But every sophomore, I think high school, at least like in my region, has to go there. Yeah, and it's pretty intense.
No, I was gonna say like everything that I've learned from Germans, other Germans I've met and stuff, is they are very aware, and they've done like they're a model in terms of like how to act after like shit's been done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Turkey could take a page out of their book with like the Armenians, honestly, because
NASA snatched up the scientists like fucking
NASA. Oh, you're talking about like Werner von Braun? Okay, yeah.
About what?
He was talking about how after the war there were so many intelligent ass Nazis, like they were doing really cool stuff, like the people who ran like the missile program, Werner von Braun, like we took him, basically made him a U.S. citizen, and he was in charge of NASA.
Oh really?
Yeah, Werner von Braun, and then there was other Nazis that we like took, and then the Russians, basically all the prominent Nazi scientists got like split up. Everyone took who they could. Like Einstein, he was obviously not a Nazi, he was Jewish, but like he was in the Manhattan Project and helped make nukes for the U.S. And it's kind of interesting how all the scientists got split up. And
you know something about that, don't you?
Yeah, my grandfather worked on the Manhattan Project. He was there for the first Trinity test, the first nuclear explosion ever. Really? Yeah, he was there. Like up in the grotto, we have his Geiger counter, which he used. That's the actual Geiger counter he used in like 45.
Really?
Uh huh.
Oh, Geiger counter. Oh my god.
Yeah, to get
Yep. Now I know.
For a little radioactive.
Yeah.
I can't make the sound because it's impossible, but yeah, he worked on that, and he never met Einstein or any shit like that. But I don't know.
It's ticking.
He's had some pretty cool stories.
Damn. What did I want to say about the? Fuck, I forgot. I think.
That's alright.
It happens.
But yeah, no, pretty crazy stuff. Yeah, no, history is kind of insane.
History is one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Besides
yeah.
science.
Now I was gonna like say something about guns, but that's why I say like we have probably problems with guns too, and now we got rid of them. But I don't want to push back on that.
I mean, you can if you want.
No,
I don't
you
care.
totally fucking can.
Dude, you can. I don't care.
This is what
That's
about.
cool, dude.
There's no animosity here.
Yeah, dude.
There's no animosity.
Go for it.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know really how it was. I mean, like literally the much we learned about that, I don't really remember that much. I don't know. I'm like better even with like Egyptians and stuff like that. But,
The ancient history.
yeah, fucking antique and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's insane. Like how they built pyramids back in the days.
The
like,
pyramid thing is actually like one of the most insane things I've ever
Like,
seen.
It was the aliens.
Dude,
How they
I wouldn't
did
be
that,
surprised if
like,
they got direction. Like
fucking ropes and shit. Like how do you do that? And
they
get it
pay them
up
in
the
beer.
mountain?
You know that? They
I
pay
feel
them
like
in beer.
there's
5
ancient
liters.
technologies that were eradicated.
Well,
What?
I believe that there is possible. It's a
Like
possibility.
actual technologies, like
Possibly,
we have today.
Maybe not so far advanced. Not so far
Never.
advanced.
Never.
Not like this. Not like this.
But still some
Certain
kind of technology.
sort of not technology, maybe like machinery.
They
That
developed that
we
was like
didn't know
600
they
years
had that was completely eradicated.
Okay. So
That's very
nothing
possible.
motorized, nothing motorized, but something really advanced that we don't.
Some
think of
Leonardo da
because it's
Vinci
so far
type
away.
machine
Yeah,
or something.
right,
that they
exactly.
did.
Exactly.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean maybe
lost
that's-
technology.
That's what I
really
think.
interesting,
Yeah, like a lost technology.
Because how would they do that with a rope and drag it
One
up
thing-
with a rope like these?
The
blocks
The only
like
way
bigger than
I
a
could
house.
possibly think, because I've thought about it, is like they put sand and they basically, when they're putting a block up, they have to make like a ramp to get to the highest, like the higher part. So they basically put sand and wet it so it sinks down.
You
and
think
they,
it's
like, drag
only
it up
wet
that.
sand?
That's been a theory that I've seen. I don't know about
So
going
it's
up the
basically
ramp.
like making like a
Condensed.
small like sand pyramid like what you do with your toys. It's the same, just in big. No.
No. Use the sand on the outside. Use the sand on the outside, and then you pull it, and then you take it to where you need to go.
Oh, okay,
Like that's
okay,
how you
okay,
get up.
okay,
Like that's how they lift it to the higher parts. Is they like push sand against like one side and
Yeah.
took it up. You know, maybe.
I don't think there's
idea.
anything behind the picture besides the pictures you see. They had the fucking rope, and I don't know how they did it, but I think they did it.
They did. They might use rollers too, like trees. They could have taken
Yeah,
trees,
trees, of
and then
course, yeah.
one
Trees
goes
for
out.
sure,
They
trees
move
for
it. They put it in the front. They keep
Yeah.
moving. They take the back one. Like that's realistic. Like
Yeah,
they could
no,
totally
for
do
sure.
that.
That's for sure.
They could totally
100%.
do that.
Yeah.
We figured it out, folks.
Yeah.
The pyramids were built by rollers.
it was Lord Xenu.
Scientologists. You guys got Scientologists in Germany, right?
Do you?
Scientologists was the
The Scientologists.
Is that religion?
Oh
that's
my
like a cult.
God.
Oh,
It's
it's
Tom
Scientology.
Cruise, yeah.
Scientology. Oh yeah, no, I don't know if we have it, but I mean everybody knows about it, but because of Tom Cruise, so not because of some.
I love it
German. So
because
I
of
think
Tom
that's why
Cruise.
it's an American thing.
No, it's a terrible thing. I mean, like, I hate
Well,
to
that
be
just
guy.
tells you about religion right there.
It appeals because what? Like they have
What is
big
that? I don't
figureheads.
It's
even
a
know what it
religion.
really is.
Okay, so
But
this is
what do they get taught?
this
They
is
believe that fucking like
hold on. First of all, we need to preface this by saying their knowledge is hidden. They pay for knowledge.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, they don't know what I'm sure he was about to tell you about Lord Xenu and stuff, but they find that out after giving like $1 million. So basically, it's a business that you sign your paycheck over to them. You cut out everyone who's
you'll
not.
find out about stuff.
It's a cult. They're like, oh, you pay for knowledge and you get access to higher levels and get better training.
Like
And
deep,
it's like,
deep stuff nobody else would find out about.
Well, first of all, they also use bad tactics. Like they make you admit everything bad you've ever done on camera. So if you ever try to
really?
leave, they'll like use that against you in job interviews and they'll
What?
follow you. Like I talked to an ex-Scientologist who was who said he was with them for like 7 years.
Damn.
And he literally said, yeah, they've threatened me multiple times, like expose me.
So it's literally like a cult.
It's a cult/business. It's a very well run business because they don't pay any taxes. And basically they have tons of people signing their actual whole paycheck over to them, and then they give them an allowance back.
Oh, what?
Dude, it's wild. Like, Scientology is
why
wild.
do people even join if everybody
Because
knows?
they are misguided.
And they're miserable.
They might
But
not
if
know
you
all
know,
those
like,
little
you would,
details. They don't know maybe all those little details about how you sign over your paycheck, or how eventually you have to cut out your family if they tell you that you can't be in it.
But if you know, people that want to join probably know because they
should
inform
look it up.
themselves.
See, that's a big problem. A lot of people don't want to inform themselves. They want to be a part of something bigger. And the people who join Scientology, I feel like they don't really have too much going for them. So it's an idea to be a part of something bigger, and it promises you being happy. It removes these thetans, is what they call them, from your body, which give you bad. Thetans are alien souls. Literally, that's
what they believe. They believe that like something about how like the aliens came
and they fell into a volcano.
You know what a
and
DC-8? You know what a DC-8 aircraft is? Well, it's like an old like propeller-driven aircraft. It was like a cargo plane, and they believe that aliens came here in a spaceship that looked like those. And Lord Xenu, I guess, came here and banished all the souls to a volcano.
He sent him,
or some shit.
he dumped him in a volcano.
Yeah, he dumped all the. Oh yeah, Lord Xenu.
He dumped all the frozen aliens into a volcano,
Lord
and they all
Xenu
died.
like froze some alien race, and he dumped them into a volcano.
And then their souls escaped, and those souls of the dead, murdered aliens from Lord Xenu are what make humans have bad emotions and make them like evil creatures. And you need these sessions to remove them.
Yep.
Like I've done a Scientologist test when I was like 10 because they're in YborKnuckleHeads very big. They own a big part over there.
It says it, Church of Scientology, big letters.
Well, they own a huge, they own like a whole block, basically. And they used to own another building, and it said free personality test. So they get like that. It said free personality test, and I was like, just walking around YborKnuckleHeads 10 years old.
How
so I was like,
fucking manipulative.
Lord.
Free personality test.
I want to do that.
So fucking.
No, it's worth doing. Like, it's I will say, like, if they did it again, like, fuck it, I'll do it. But I don't give them any real information. Like, straight up, do not give your phone number or your real name. Like,
but you can answer the questions trustworthy how you feel.
And basically,
just give the wrong information.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they're all going to tell you that you're miserable, no matter what. You'd be like, I'm the happiest dude on earth. They're going to tell you you're miserable and that you have things infecting you and clouding you and that you need to join. Yeah.
So it's basically fucking criminals.
Dude, yes. But it's legalized because people recognize them as a religion, which is the biggest bullshit I've ever heard.
It was founded in the 50s. Yeah. It's only been in a religion since the 50s.
And a science fiction writer.
L. Ron Hubbard.
The guy who wrote Battlefield Earth and like...
L. Ron Hubbard, yeah.
He was a really good science fiction author, but he created a fucking religion that is now like a really...
Which is a really good science fiction idea. If you're making a movie, that's a great idea, right?
But he did it. And
but why do people fall for it if it's obviously
because Tom Cruise... You got Tom Cruise and you got celebrities. Tons of celebrities are Scientologists because they get.
But why do they do that?
They're in their own circle.
They're the marketers. Exclusive. They get money off of it.
They either get money, they get special treatment. They're treated like gods in the community.
So they don't believe in this stuff. They just do it so other people join.
Yeah, I think at least I think some of them. I think some of them believe in it. Like Tom Cruise, I think is a little crazy. Like I think Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise believes in it. He
totally goes for it.
But like other people don't believe in it. Like Laura Prepon, who was Donna in that '70s show, she's a Scientologist. Yeah, I know. Sad. I know.
Who Orange is the New Black?
Yeah, she's a Scientologist, bro.
That makes me want to puke.
I know, it's sad. It's really fucked up.
You know how many fantasies I've had about her? Now I don't think she's attractive at all.
Now she's gonna get you to take a free personality test post-coitus.
I know. Oh my god.
But yeah, basically, it's just a really destructive influence in society that should be eradicated. That I really hate to say I like that, but they contribute nothing because, as I said, they literally don't pay taxes because they're a religion, and they just manipulate and use people. They separate families. They're just terrible people. Luckily, they're not. They're everywhere. They're widespread, but there's not an incredible amount of them, so it's not like a super concern. But honestly, that shit needs to be outlawed before it becomes a super concern.
Before it becomes president. This fucking guy, the Scientologist.
No, dude, that's what I'm saying. Is like, do we really want to wait 20 years and let this shit get bigger? It's like that shit needs to be gone. It's really a destructive and
it's almost been around for 100.
Everything about it's bad.
I think there is like this one it's another kind of church, but there's this one university of church near the University of Wisconsin, Madison, and they sell weed. Because they like go through as a religion or whatever.
It's a religious sacrament. It's a sacrament.
That's why they like officially sell weed.
I'm surprised they got away with that. Good for them, bro. Well, wait, you said it was in Wisconsin?
It's in Madison, Wisconsin.
Dude, that's cool. Good for them.
In Madison, Wisconsin?
Yeah. That's actually really cool. Good for them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, living
Was it
in
good weed?
Wisconsin was crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I've heard the story. My friend told me.
I wonder
I've
if it's
heard
good
the
or some
story.
bush
we
weed.
all need to make a correct.
They're like, we're not using any nutrients in it.
We all need to take a commemorative rip
Commemorative rip.
of tobacco.
Yeah, but that's insane. I mean, but like, if you like, that's not like, religion is fucking. It's a fucking business. I mean, that's how it is with the like all religion. I feel like. I mean that the religions that survived. They like had to go through so many like murders, like kill bodies, like only the strongest survived. So it's literally like a business.
See, I have a very weird opinion on that because only strong survive, and I believe that's the only real rule in life. It's just like might is right. The people who are willing to do that extra step, and it's fucked up to say, it is fucked up, but it's human nature. The people who are willing to commit violence are the ones who are always going to be in power.
I wouldn't say violence, but I would say just. Do something special. I feel like.
I mean, you got leaders. You got people who are just born to lead. It's just kind of how it is. It's just a personality type. You know what I mean? But
what are the
you good?
12 archetypes?
I didn't know there was archetypes. It's like making a character on Skyrim.
Well, I mean, there's personality traits. Psychologically, it's thrown into a bunch of different archetypes.
Yeah, okay, well, hold on. What do you guys actually think about what happens after death then?
That's a really cool question.
And I still haven't really found too much of a determination on that. I think a variety of things can happen, and none of them are guaranteed. I think you could kind of have like the DMT in your brain releases, and you kind of go into like a trip.
Yeah.
And then maybe there's reincarnation and you come back, possibly. I mean, there's no way we can know that your soul comes back, but maybe your consciousness doesn't, you know? And it's like nothing, or it's blackness and there's nothing.
That's what I don't believe.
You don't want to. No one wants to believe that.
Well,
that's a terrible thing.
It's not logical to believe.
Very good. I mean, good for you. I mean, it's crossed my mind. You don't think it's logical? Because the thing is, sadly, I think it's really logical. Please
no, because
explain.
you still can't find the source of your consciousness.
Wait, what?
You can't. You still don't. We still don't understand where the consciousness comes from fully.
Brain.
Yeah, but
I mean, like we know that because like if you fuck with the frontal, like you fuck with different parts of the brain, you see how personality, like different things are. Not this
much.
Okay, I guess another question that's important is: does the soul exist? Is a soul a thing that's separate?
Something that you build.
I think that's the important question.
Because that's what I'm saying. I think that's where it comes from. Is the soul, because a soul is something beyond a body.
Yeah.
Your life
and if
force
the soul can escape
I believe
energy.
the soul is the same thing as the consciousness. I believe that the only thing that we are, all we are, I believe that this universe.
So you think it's done after?
Wait. No. I don't know. That's the thing. Wait. I believe that this universe, this entire universe, that is so big that we can't even imagine, it keeps getting bigger. It's alive. I believe that it's alive.
It's an organism.
I believe that it is alive and it is conscious, and the only way to that I believe that is because everything is alive. Every planet might not be alive in our sense of alive.
I completely agree with
everything is alive. So
we think we know stuff, but we don't know anything.
There's a continuous driving force of life. That's all I know. There's a continuous driving force of life that never ends, because even as people die and things die off, a tree will fall, but it'll grow moss over it, and fucking vines will grow over it, and fucking
insects will get into it
and eat the tree. Termites will eat it. Death is just another instance of life.
No, there's more opportunity in death sometimes for creatures and in nature than there is in life.
Well, check it out. Let's really think through this. I believe, why we're conscious at all, why we're able to look each other in the eye and feel that connection, is because the consciousness, in my opinion, is the universe itself being sentient with the desire to experience itself, and that manifests itself through us. And I believe that each one of us, if you've ever looked at a net, are like the little knots on a net. Each one of us in the center of our heads.
I like that thought. I saw like one video like on YouTube, or like it's Like, so you say like everything, we are like all one basically.
We are all
like
one
have one
thing.
more mission.
We are all one truth.
Yeah.
We are all one part of
I
one
agree.
bigger self.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
You know what
like
I mean?
saw this like one video, and you are basically born, and that theory was you're basically born back into like a new body, and it's like everything is the same. You are I. You guys are the same. It's like because you get reborn.
He as he is me, and she is we, and we
it's like we're actually
all
one.
together.
Yeah.
I botched
When
that.
we die, we get reborn,
lyric.
and it started with one person. But you started with one person. You died, but you were reborn, and you started to be the same person. That's how it.
Oh
exploded.
no, that's what John Lennon said. That's what my favorite Beatles lyric
really?
is. He said I am me as you are me, as he is me,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we are all together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I am me,
we
you
are all
are
together
he.
right now.
I am
Is that?
me as you are me, and he is me, and we are all together. But he's saying you're me, and he is we, and fucking, you know what I mean? He's making it really complicated. But yeah, for real, that's what he's saying. That's 100% what he's saying.
Maybe.
And that's what I believe. I believe that, and maybe and to get to answer your question finally, what comes after death? Perhaps, maybe this consciousness just, and it finds a different cell tower to fucking hit. Maybe this is just a cell tower for the consciousness.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, that's just
Yeah, I mean that's like
a possibility.
But the thing is,
what do you believe comes
know.
after death, Landon?
I don't know. I'm not that certain on anything. That's like my point. Is I don't think I can be certain.
You can't be.
Yeah.
You haven't died yet.
Exactly. And there's no one that has that's come back. I mean, I feel like there's some people who are like, oh, I've seen Jesus. I'm like, yeah, that's DMT going through your brain.
That
like,
might
trying
just
to
be
protect you
because
from the trauma of dying.
that's what you've known your whole fucking life, and you're not ready. So your brain is gonna comfort you.
I mean, that's exactly why
Now, when
you
I
die,
smoke
DMT
DMT,
like happened. Like
when I
DMT
smoked
gets released.
DMT, I felt like I was going home.
Yeah.
When I got there, when I busted through, it was like, it was like that feeling you get when you're somewhere that you love that you haven't been in a long time. It was like, oh my God,
you're not on Earth when you do that, right?
No.
It's like completely different.
No, you're not on
dimension.
Earth. Those shapes do not exist here. None of that shit exists here. It's a different place.
Holy shit.
It's a different place altogether.
It's interesting what psychedelic drugs like do. Like it's pretty insane. Honestly, there's nothing that can really replicate that.
Yeah,
how does it work? Like, I mean, so how do you like even get to that point? Like, how do you develop that? Like, how smart do you have to be? Like to be the one person that actually started that.
Well,
like
it's about
because you have
taking
to figure it
a
out.
leap of faith. Because my whole life in America, right, at school, you're taught that LSD and mushrooms and DMT. You don't learn about DMT in school, but you fucking ketamine and all this shit is just as bad as crack and heroin.
Yeah.
That's what you're taught in America. If you take acid,
all drugs are bad.
Yeah, no drugs are bad. No drugs are bad. Only people have bad relationships with drugs.
That's what I say. I mean, nothing is bad as long as you don't get addicted too much, in my opinion. If you could, technically, as bad as it sounds, I wouldn't do it. But if you would do heroin once and you wouldn't get hooked onto it, it doesn't matter.
There are people who use. There are people
the
who
chance
used
that you
to
get addicted is so high.
Here's something interesting.
Right.
There is a bunch of these what I call high functioning heroin addicts because there's people on Oxycontin and methadone that get stripped away from it, and the next thing they need is an opiate. What is heroin? An opiate. That's why there's a lot of fucking heroin addicts that just look like normal people. Is because they
go on a painkiller.
You don't
back
only
in like
shoot heroin,
08.
you can smoke heroin too. There's a lot of people who smoke heroin that have to smoke and go to work. I was watching this interview with a guy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a YouTube channel called Soft White Underbelly, but they talk to a bunch of people and stuff. And this guy was a heroin addict, and he fucking has a job. He goes to work every day, and he's like, well, yeah, they took my fucking medicine away that my doctor was giving me for my pain. I need an opiate.
I mean, they need that to function.
And it happens. It's real. It happens. It really happens. But no, Well, the thing is, with the first time I ever took any psychedelic, it was with my cousin when I was 17 years old, and I was at a festival, Bliss Fest.
I gotta go pee so
You got
bad.
to piss?
So bad, I'm like.
Oh,
fucking,
go ahead, man.
I'm like.
We'll bullshit around until you come back. I'll tell you the story. You come back. Yeah.
Really? Oh, so yeah, like, that, like, I've never like seen something that, like, because for you guys, or like in America, like people, like I listen to rap because I like it. I don't have like, I know like their backstory and stuff like that. But here in the US, if you like rap, you know like the backstory and the history, and if you like one style, exactly your tattoo, like I still don't get it, but you told me it's about like music and
It's
stuff.
the elements.
But I think that's so cool if you literally believe in one type of this music. Like for me, it's all one type, and you like can see
Generally, it's
differences.
exported American music.
Well, you see, hip hop
you know?
started with people just messing with their turntables. See, they found a way. These people in the slums in the Bronx found a way actually to make these turntables instruments. So they found out that a certain number of rotations on a turntable or revolutions on a turntable would be like a certain number of bars, or a certain number of steps to bars. So they found a way to take jazz records and keep them looping by using this math technique that they figured out on the turntables. And that's where you get this element, DJing. That's the first element. Well, you could argue that the first element was graffiti, but those are, and well, the element that came after the DJs, I believe, were the b-boys. Well, a b-boy is a breakdancer.
Oh, that's
This is a part of hip hop. The guys that used to put out the cardboard and spin on their heads. Yeah.
That doesn't really exist anymore, right?
Yeah, it does in hip hop culture,
but not as much.
Not as much,
right?
But that's an element of hip hop. Another really important element, the rap element, is the MC.
Okay.
The master of ceremonies. That's what that is to me.
Snoop Dogg.
To me, rapping.
My favorite.
To me, rapping is MCing. You're not just rapping.
Yeah.
You're MCing.
Okay, and that's Snoop Dogg, right? That's Snoop Dogg style.
Well, it's Snoop Dogg style, MF Doom style, Eminem style.
Like I completely agree. That's the coolest style of rapping, and you don't see it anymore. Because now rapping, like if you go like any kind of rapper, like everybody sounds kind of the same. Like they're like
it's terrible.
It's auto-tune and shit.
Yeah,
so
like
terrible.
this like old school style, like 50 Cent or like Snoop Dogg doesn't really exist anymore, and that's like the good shit. That's the good shit.
People will get what they're given.
That's all. That's still rapping. Now it's not rapping.
It's just
pop
rapping.
music.
No,
Yeah.
it is rapping. It's just rapping. There's a difference. Rapping, Dr. Seuss is a rapper.
Don't know.
Dr. Seuss is a rapper. You're not until you're an MC. You know what I mean? Until you are MCing, you're just rapping. Rapping is just rhyming.
So who is like a current rapper that's
An MC?
MCing? Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar,
Okay. He's good. I like him.
Denzel Curry,
Don't know him.
Big Crit.
Common.
Common
he's
is
kinda
not
old.
common. Not Common is common, but Common's not.
I only know like the super popular ones, like from.
Well, Common, yes, but he's not common
Yeah.
right now. You know what I mean? But like I said, people will get what they're given. And on that note, we gotta end it. We've been going for an hour and 55 minutes, close to 2 hours. And I'd like to thank our special guest, Tim
Thank you.
Schreffl.
Tim Schreffl. I'd like to thank our special guest, Tim Schreffl, for joining us.
Yeah.
And for Dr. Sanman, we have been the YborKnuckleHeads. You have been our humble servants. My name is Adam.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Well done.
My name is Adam.
Landon.
Thank you so much, guys. It was awesome. Turned out to be great.
Knucklehead.
Knucklehead.